Some things happen without explanation. Some experiences haunt people for a lifetime. This is where I tell those mysteries. And remember, not everything can be explained. Story. My name is Lily Madwhip, and I see things before they happen. Part 2. I have to do it in my head or privately because they'll take him away again if I start acting like he speaks to me, even though he does. Pashkar gives in and tells me her address, but insists that I not go there. I say it to myself several times. If you say something a bunch, it's easier to remember. Especially if you didn't write it down anywhere. I guess I could write it down, but I see Nurse Whitmore come out of the school and start talking to my dad in the car. She sees me over here by the swings and waves for me to come over while my dad fills out some sign-out sheet for me. I walk over to the car. Nurse Whitmore is leaning in the window, talking to my dad about my fainting and how I should be okay to come back to school tomorrow, but it might be best to take me to see a doctor. Dad is just nodding quietly, not looking at me. I can't even really see his face to tell if he's angry or worried. Nurse Whitmore takes my backpack with Pashkar and passes it through the window to my dad as I climb in the back. Lily, wait, Pashkar says. I'm not listening though, because I'm trying to buckle up, but my vision is beginning to act wonky. I think I'm starting to see something before it happens again. I try to focus so I can tell what it is. It's looking through the front windshield of the car as we drive down a road I'm not familiar with. Well, that's useful. All right, Lily, says Nurse Whitmore. You be well. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow. Thank you, I hear my dad say. He sounds weird, like he's coming down with a head cold. In my vision, we pull up alongside a small greenhouse. I'm looking at the mailbox, and it has the number 86 on it. It's the same number as Meredith's address. We must be going to her house. That must mean I convince my dad to go there so I can warn Meredith. Good. I know Pashkar doesn't want me to go, but maybe my dad can help. We pull out of the school parking lot. Something smells funny. The car smells unfamiliar, like when you take it to get cleaned and get it back, and it smells like someone else. Dad? I start to say, but it's not my dad's eyes looking back at me in the rearview mirror. They're too small, too beady, like a weasel's eyes. I'm afraid not, Lily, says Felix. I get goosebumps all over my arms and legs. Why is Felix Weasel Face in my dad's car? Where's my dad? I yell. I unbuckle myself, but Felix shakes the steering wheel and the whole car weaves back and forth. It's real dangerous to be unbuckled when someone's driving reckless like that, so I buckle back in. I don't know what I was going to do anyway. Jump out of the car? I think I've seen enough roadside deaths recently. I don't want to be one. What did you do to my dad? I scream at Felix. Is he dead? Felix looks back and grins. No, don't look back. That's how people get T-boned by giant trucks. Keep looking forward, you crazy weasel man. I wave at him to keep his eyes on the road, but I don't think he understands the universal signal for face forward, dummy. Your father is fine for now. You know, I thought about just coming for Meredith at school, but you're a smart girl, aren't you? Somewhat, I think. I know enough to stay buckled in and to look where I'm going, and that if Felix finds Meredith, he's going to kill her because he's angry about what happened to his son Joey. I'm not top of my class smart, but I'm one of those kids who knows you spell it ketchup or catsup and it's the same word. I figured the best bet was to wait for you to get home and just have you take me to her. After all, I knew where you lived, but not her. And I knew you didn't know where she lived at first, but given time, you'd find out. I think Felix likes to listen to himself speak. It's all part of knowing people, Lily. I know how to learn the things I need to know and how to use people to get the things I want. Like your dad. Thanks to what I gleaned from you at the hospital, I was able to talk my way into your house easily. Where's my dad? I say as calmly as I can. Felix's lips curl up in his creepy weasel grin again. I'll tell you when this is all over. It really depends on if you give me any trouble or not. Pashkar has gone quiet in the front seat. I think I know why. I think it's the same reason Raziel, the angel in Felix's locket, won't speak. Anything they tell me, Felix will know. Just like he must already know Meredith's address, thanks to Pashkar telling it to me. They will not speak to me with Felix near, because I'm like a radio antenna that Felix can pick up their signals from. A really fleshy antenna, with hair and a face that's pissed off and glare staring at him from the back seat. Mr. Felix, Meredith didn't kill Joey. Felix's mouth twitches, and he looks back at me with a bit of anger in the rearview mirror. It's almost impressive how much beadier his eyes get when he's angry. They're super beady. How can he even see anything with eyes that small? She set fire to the stage we were on, Lily. She couldn't have done that without being angry, and only because she was near you. Yes, I know. He looks back to the road. But just because she didn't mean to do it, doesn't mean she's not dangerous. Didn't she nearly kill another girl just this morning? Number. I don't know if it's fair to call Lisa Welch a girl. I want to call her other things. Swear jar things. I want to go to the bank and get one of those big rolls of quarters and pop it open and pour it into the swear jar and then talk about Lisa Welch until all the vegetables in the house turn brown from the rotten words I use. You're a terrible liar, Lily. We turn onto Rosemont Drive. That's the street Pastor told me is where Meredith lives. We're going to be there in a matter of minutes. I can't convince Felix not to hurt her, and I don't think I can stop him once we're there. I've got to do something drastic. Dad, I'm really sorry. Mr. Felix, I say, looking him dead in his beady weasel eyes. He looks back at me. Yes? You're going to crash. I can see the glimmer of understanding cross his face, but it's too late. I dig my hands into the grips of my car seat and tuck my head down between my knees. At the same time, the steering wheel spins out of Felix's hands, as if guided by invisible hands. Angels' hands, maybe. Do angels even have hands? Maybe they have hundreds of hands. Maybe angels are like centipedes. Ew. The car veers off the side of the road going somewhere around 45 miles per hour. If my dad were driving, we'd probably be going even faster. He doesn't care about speed limits. I'm surprised he hasn't already killed everyone in the family. I wonder if he's alive. I hope so. Up over the curb and through a large hedge we go, where we smash into a tree in the middle of someone's yard. I was in a car accident 3 months ago. It took my brother Roger's life. I know the terrible feeling of having the vehicle you're sitting in come to sudden stop. All your body parts want to go one way, while your seat and belt and everything between them want to stay put and stop with the rest of the car. It's like the world's worst roller coaster. One nobody pays to get on, but people find themselves riding when they least expect it. For a moment, everything goes black. I wake up and I'm still buckled into my car seat. Felix is laying across the front, groaning and covered in glass from the windshield. The airbag deployed out of the steering wheel. That didn't happen when we got T-boned. I've never seen an airbag deployed up close before. It looks soft. Too bad Felix went sideways. I bet he'd have felt real comfy resting on that airbag. Well, my dad's gonna be pissed. This is the second car in 3 months that got wrecked. I can see from the back seat that the front of the car is all crumpled up like it's trying to hug the tree. I hope we didn't hurt the tree too much. Sorry, tree. Someone's at my door, banging on the window. Are you all right? It's a lady in jogging clothes. It occurs to me that I should be grateful we didn't accidentally hit her. I should have been more careful about what I said to Felix. Speaking of Felix, he's making pain sounds and pulling himself up. There's glass all over his back and I can see that he's got scratches down the side of his face. His nose looks bent funny. He doesn't look like he's entirely aware of what just happened. Get me out! I scream to the lady outside. I try to unbuckle myself, but the seat shifted and I can't find where it's buckled in. Help! This isn't my dad. My shouting is just confusing her. I don't think she can fully hear what I'm saying, but she's trying to get the door open. It just seems to be jammed. She pulls out her flip phone and is calling 911. Oh, thank God, yes. Call the police, get me out of here. One of the front doors creaks like someone's trying to crush a soda can. I look over and Felix is no longer in the front seat. The lady on her phone is telling whoever's on the other end about a car crashing into a tree on Rosemont. I can hear her describing me as a frantic little girl. Lady, I'm only frantic because there's a crazy guy loose and I don't know if he's armed or willing to kill me and you. Do you really want to die right after jogging? Nobody wants to die all sweaty and exhausted like that. I don't have time for this. I think Felix is still going to Meredith's. I can't sit here and wait. I've got to do something. Pashkar tells me to stay put. Don't go to Meredith's, he says. I can't listen to you this time, Pashkar. Even if it means I die saving Meredith, I need to try. I slide down out of my seatbelt and wiggle to the floor of the car, then climb over into the front seat, where I pull Pashkar out of my backpack. Oh, my lunch got completely smashed. It's about lunchtime too. That sucks. Now if I die, I'm going to die hungry. Hungry and my chest hurts. I think the seatbelt bruised it. Pashkar won't stop telling me not to go. Stay put. Wait for the police. Trust me on this, Lily. You have to trust me. I trust you, Pashkar, but I need to do this. The lady in the jogging clothes sees me climb out the front, and she runs around to see if I'm okay. Lady, there's glass all over me, and I'm climbing out of a car that's wrapped around a tree. Does that seem okay to you? She finally notices that Felix isn't in the driver's seat anymore. Where did your father go? He may be injured. That wasn't my dad, I tell her. I'm okay. Please, tell the police to head to 86 Rosemont. The bad man who kidnapped me is going there. You should sit down. She puts her hands on me and tries to guide me away from the car instead of doing what I told her to. I shrug her off and run through the giant hole we made in someone's hedge. Other people are coming out of homes or pulling over in their cars to see what happened. My dad's poor car is hissing. It sounds like a big, metal snake. Maybe one of the tires is losing air. I can't tell what exactly the noise is. I don't even really care. I'm trying to drown out the sound of Pashkar in my head and pay attention to the numbers of the houses. I can hear the lady in the jogging clothes behind me, yelling for me to come back. Over it all, I hear sirens. I hope they get here in time. Ugh, my chest really hurts. I just need a moment. Just need to sit down by this tree. I wasn't feeling so bad after the car crash I caused just a bit ago, but the seatbelt really did dig in, and I'm not used to all this running. Have I still got Pashkar on me? Yes? Good. He's telling me to rest here. Just relax and let the police deal with Felix. Don't go after him. I can't rest here. There might be ants. I don't want ants crawling all over me if I fall asleep under this tree. Besides, I've got a better chance of stopping Felix, because all I have to do is get near him and tell him to buzz off and never return or something. I hope that works. Where even am I? What house number is this? 64. There are way too many houses on this street. Gotta get to Meredith. I feel really out of breath. Pashkar is still trying to stop me. He's saying, Lily, if you go, I'll die. I feel it. I know he's right. Pashkar is always right. But if I know it, maybe I can change it. I don't have to die. I don't want to die either, geez. There's nobody better at not dying than me. Who else can see death coming? Nobody. Even the lady in black who works with the angel of death can't see it coming like I can. I just gotta be focused when I get there. Stop Felix, help Meredith, and my chest is really, really sore. I bet I've got a big seatbelt-shaped bruise on it. Maybe I'll just relax here a bit, like Pashkar says. Number, I've got to get up. I've got to get to 86 Rosemont, the greenhouse with the white window frames that I can still see in my head, but it's getting darker, like the memory is fading. I get to my feet, check my shoelaces because I don't want to trip over them when I'm saving the day, and have that be the way I die, then start to run down the sidewalk again. Felix is nowhere in sight. There's sirens back behind me, probably pulling up to where I made Felix crash my dad's car. I wonder where my dad is. If Felix had his car, and Felix answered our phone at home, he must have done something to my dad. I don't want my dad to be dead. He was going to teach me to play the drums like Roger. And the harmonica, though I'm less interested in that. Don't be dead, Dad. There's the greenhouse ahead. I recognize the mailbox. A black car is parked in the driveway. It probably belongs to one of Meredith's foster parents. Or both. Maybe they have only one car. Not every family has a car for each adult after all. Then again, maybe they didn't go straight home after whoever picked Meredith up from school. If I got suspended for turning another student's backpack into a fireball, I'm sure my dad would take me straight home. But maybe Meredith's foster family would take her to see a doctor or return her to the orphanage or something because they think she's defective. Poor Meredith. She's not defective. She's just special. And maybe she's just in the house like I originally assumed, getting grounded for nearly burning Lisa Welch into a cinder. I limp up the driveway because my legs are starting to feel sore, and I'm having some serious pain in my chest. Something stabby feeling is going on in my side. It makes me just want to sit down and cry, but I don't have time for that. That's my motto right now. I don't have time for crying, no time to cry. I ring the doorbell. It really fancy sounding, like they've got an orchestra playing bells inside. I don't know what I'm going to do if nobody answers. Maybe bang on the door a bunch, then check the windows to see if I can see inside. What if Felix is already in there murdering Meredith and her foster parents? What if they're having some sort of epic battle like you see in the movies and she's got flaming fists and he's doing whatever it is he does? He's throwing secrets. You know, come to think of it, Felix's gift or curse or whatever it is isn't really all that great in a fight. An elderly lady with white hair answers the door. She's wearing a blue dress with flowery spirals on it like my Nana used to wear. Remember to be respectful, I think to myself. Hello, she says with a smile. It doesn't look phony. I can tell phony adult smiles. They can curl their mouth up, but they can't change how they're really feeling in their eyes. Phony smiles are like when someone points a camera at you and tells you to smile and say cheese, but you're trying to hold in a fart. You must be Lily. How did you know? I forget what I was going to say. Why does everybody know who I am? Mary's told us about you, she says. She's described you to a T. It's very sweet of you to come check on her. I know that the whole incident at school was some sort of mistake. She's up in her room if you've come to see her. Would you please call the police, ma'am? I ask as politely and calmly as I can. I'm about ready to double over in pain. She sees me clutching my side and trying to stay upright in the doorway. Oh dear, are you all right? There's a weasel-faced man coming to hurt Meredith. Please. She steps aside and gestures to a set of stairs. This house is really nice inside. They've got carpeting all over, and unlike the carpeting in my house, it looks like they vacuum it regularly. Ours looks like someone regularly spills coffee on it, probably because someone regularly spills coffee on it. You go see Mary and sit down. I'll get on the phone, okay? Would you like something to drink? No, thank you. Actually, I could use some lemonade, but it might hurt to swallow. I hobble past her and hold the banister as I drag myself up the stairs. Even the banister is nice. It's all polished and smooth with no splinters sticking out of it. Meredith's lucky her foster parents keep their house really clean. There's 5 rooms on the second floor. Meredith's is probably the one that's on fire. Only none of them are on fire. I don't smell smoke either. That's good. I gotta be careful though, because when I'm this close, if she's angry, she might burn the whole house down, not realizing I'm in it with her. Meredith. I call. I really just want to sit down. She pokes her head out of the room at the end of the hall. Lily? I walk slowly down the hall to her. My back and neck are starting to throb as well. Are you okay? I ask. Her bedroom has wood paneling. At least I hope it's just paneling. Maybe there's brick underneath. That'd be safe. Bricks don't catch fire, do they? I hope it isn't something shoddy underneath, or super flammable. Pascal says it's plaster underneath the fake paneling. He's such a help. I don't see myself getting burned to death, so I'm trusting my ability to see things before they happen to warn me. I've got to be very careful. I still have that feeling I'm gonna die, and I need to be ready to react if the moment comes. Meredith sits down at a desk with a lamp and a glass cage that's got a turtle in it. Oh my god, so lucky. I want a turtle. I've had 2, Donatello and Raphael, but I was looking at one just the other day that would make a good Leonardo. It died though, along with every other animal in the pet store, and a couple people in the food court apparently. I can't believe anyone trusted Meredith with a pet. I guess turtles aren't too easy to burn, they just gotta hop in the water to put themselves out. I'm alright. Meredith looks at her feet. I think she does that to keep her hair hanging in her face over the scars from the fire that killed her parents. Okay, look. I lean in the doorway and watch the turtle try to climb the glass of its tank. That's a nice turtle. Also, there's a man, Weasel. I was in a car accident, I need to sit down, I might be dying. Meredith's bed looks really comfy. She's got 3 big pillows to lay her head on. I could probably fall asleep on them, but my brain is racing, and it hurts lying down. Worse than standing up, actually. Let's not lie down. No, sitting isn't any good either. It's so soft that I feel like I'm putting pressure on my chest all hunched over. I'm going to kneel here beside the bed. Okay, that works. Gah. Meredith watches me flop on the bed, then roll around on it a bit, sit up, then slide off and crouch on the floor beside it. You told me about the car accident, and the weasel. There aren't any weasels around here, though. No, it's a man, with a weasel face. His name is Felix, and this was a different car accident. I just made him crash, down the street. He's coming for you. And I think I'm dying. What? Why? Is it getting hot in here? The room feels like it's starting to heat up. I can almost smell it. Maybe it's just me. I'm in a lot of pain. I think I'm sweating. I really hope the police get here soon. Maybe an ambulance too. Why, which part? I can't catch my breath. Why is he coming for me? Because you killed my boy. And we both turn and look. Felix is standing in the door to the hallway. His face looks kind of swollen on one side, and there's blood running down his forehead and neck. He looks almost like a zombie. I don't like zombie movies because they always show the people getting torn apart and then their insides get eaten. I saw one once on a Halloween movie marathon. My dad thought it would be okay because it was in black and white, and those usually aren't too scary, but this one was super scary. Felix is only half as scary as that movie. Where's Mrs. Lake? Meredith asks, standing up and moving toward me. I'm having trouble breathing, but I managed to pull myself up somewhat to face him. Paskar is saying something. It's hard to hear him, though. Lily, you need to do something. Your foster mother? She's fine. She's taking a nap. I'm not here for her. He steps into the room, dragging one of his feet. There's blood coming off him from somewhere, and he's leaving a trail on the floor. I hope it's his blood and not Mrs. Lake, who I assume is the nice lady who answered the door. It looks like there's something in Felix's other hand. Oh God, it's probably a knife or something. Mr. Felix, I say, straightening up. You're going to drop what you've got and walk out of here. He smirks at me. No, I'm not. Yes, yes you are. Really? Now? It's not working now? What gives? Felix steps toward us. Meredith moves closer to me, and I put my arm around her. Mostly because I think I'm going to collapse, and I don't want to collapse. This sucks. Did she tell you, Meredith? Blood runs down over his eye. So gross. Can we pause this showdown and you go wash yourself up, please? We can take turns if you promise not to kill Meredith while I'm trying to fix whatever's digging into my side. In fact, let's both call this whole thing off and go get checked at the hospital. Tell me what? What a good friend she is, keeping secrets from you. What secrets? Meredith looks at me. I start to shrug, but that makes shooting pain go up my side. He's trying to get in your brain. Burn him, Meredith. That's right, Meredith, burn me. Like you burned my boy, Joey. Remember him? Remember the carnival? He moves closer. We step back. We're running out of space in the bedroom. It's a big bedroom, too. I wish my bedroom was this big, and that I had a turtle, and that I wasn't here, dying from internal injuries or something, and dealing with a crazy man. That was an accident, Meredith mumbles. She holds me up. I really appreciate her holding on to me. I didn't mean to cause the fire. It's never just happened like that before. Mr. Felix, you're going to jump out the window, I yell. Felix shakes his head and makes a face like I'm some sort of idiot. Will you knock it off? He looks back to Meredith and steps toward us again. I know it was an accident, dear. I know you didn't mean to hurt anybody then. So then why do you want to kill her? I say angrily. There's just enough strength in my legs to step between Felix and Meredith, so I do it. Lily Madwhip, human shield. This is where I die, right, Paskar? Oh, he's over on the bed. And he's gone quiet. Stupid angel. When did I ever say I was going to kill her? He shakes his head again, this time with amusement. But there's blood running down his face, so it's kind of hard to see the funny in all this. I'm confused at this point. You said... I said that I needed to protect the rest of us from her, you silly girl. People like you and me. Not simple, plain, ordinary people. Don't you see what happens when people like us come together? He turns to Meredith. She looks as confused as I feel. She didn't tell you that either, did she? She's full of secrets, your friend Lily. You both are, in fact. Meredith looks at me with her good eye. Tell me what? Felix is smiling. When someone like you and someone like me are together, our gifts become amplified. Your gift of fire, her gift of seeing the future, my gift of knowing people's secrets. Right now, you can make fire without touching anything. She can cause things to happen just by saying it. And me, well, I make people finally tell the truth. Except, I can't seem to make things happen because I just tried twice to make Felix do something and he laughed in my face. Maybe I've lost my ability because of this pain I'm feeling. What do you mean? Meredith asks. He turns to me. What scares you, Lily? What? That's a weird thing to ask. And yet, I feel an overwhelming need to tell them both. I can't control my mouth or my brain. Sharks, I yell. Sharks are terrifying. They've got multiple rows of teeth. It's like God said, I'm tired of people going swimming in my oceans and bothering all the fish, so I'm going to make one fish that's huge and has a zillion teeth and crazy eyes, and all it does is eat you. Thanks, God. Thanks for sharks. Felix blinks. Yes, but what else scares you? Clowns, I admit. I don't understand why anyone thought up clowns. They are pure nightmare fuel. Felix is frowning at me. I guess those weren't the answers he was looking for because he clenches his free hand up into a fist and looks about ready to hit me with it. No, you're afraid that your parents think you're some sort of freak and that they don't love you. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's pretty true. After all, if I didn't exist, they'd probably still have Roger. And Dad loved Roger. Mom did too, but not like Dad did. Sometimes I think they both love me, but the things I say scare them. I don't want them to think I'm a freak. Meredith watches us both quietly. I don't get it. I don't either, to be honest. Sure, Felix made me say what scares me without me being able to control it, but I would have willingly told them both about my fear of sharks and clowns. I didn't need to have it forced out of me. Why don't you tell your best friend what you think of her, Lily? Felix grits his teeth with a smile. That's that phony smile I was talking about right there. Or maybe he's in pain like I am. After all, his face looks pretty messed up. You scare the bejesus out of me. I say, oh no, okay, that I didn't want to say. Meredith is my friend, and it's true she scares me, but I would never tell her that because she's my friend. And because it might piss her off and then cause her to burn me alive like she did to Felix's son Joey and her own parents. Felix waves his hands like a magician. Isn't it nice to hear the truth for a change? Meredith looks at me and I can see she's hurt by what I admitted. Her lip is quivering, which is typically the sign that someone's about to cry. I take her hands and squeeze them and stare at her, maybe a bit too much. Better blink so I don't freak her out. You scare me, but you're my best friend, after Jamal and Pascal, really. You're my third best friend, and I was just in a car accident for you. But your fire powers are terrifying. I'm sorry. Felix shakes his head. What else? Also, your face looks kinda like a candle. Oh Jesus, I'm sorry, Meredith. Stupid Felix, knock that off. But I don't care about how you look. And I know you only look that way because of an accident. I turn and give Felix my super angry stare. What does any of this have to do with you protecting me from her? The temperature in the room is getting toasty. I think I can see the air waving like when you're outside in the summer and can see the heat rising off the street. Is this Meredith? Is she doing this? Why can't I make Felix leave? Silly Lily. I'm going to take Meredith and teach her. Teach her how to use her gift the right way, on the right people. After all, I know all her secrets too. Meredith stiffens. I squeeze her hands again to try to calm her. I don't know if things get even stronger with three of us in the same place, and if that's what's causing the whole room to heat up. All I know is I need to calm her down and get Felix away from us and go to the hospital because something inside me is sending a really bad stabby stab down my side. Felix holds out the hand he was keeping hidden away at his side. In it is some folded up piece of paper. Time to tell Lily what your secret is, Meredith, my girl. Meredith is visibly shaking. I know what's going on inside her because I just had to deal with it. She's trying to keep from letting the thing in her head come out her mouth. I admit though, I'm actually curious what secret she's got, so I just raise my eyebrows and watch. It wasn't an accident. She finally blurts out. What wasn't an accident? I ask. She looks at me and her cheeks are deep red. I can't tell if she's embarrassed or getting a fever. Even the side of her face that's burned is blushing. I set the fire that killed my parents on purpose. Okay, well, I'm horrified. I also can't stand up anymore, so I slumped down in the chair by her desk. It wasn't really because of what she told me, but it probably looks that way to her. It's not what you think. Meredith tries to pull me back to my feet, but I'm in too much pain, so I resist. They thought I was a monster, like yours do. After the fire at the carnival, they started locking me in the basement. They would have killed me if they could. I couldn't make it happen again. The flames out of nowhere, and I didn't know what else to do. So I used some stuff in the basement to start a normal fire, and hoped that the fire department would be called and I'd be found. I didn't mean for them to die, or for this to happen to me. She gestures at the scars on her face. Felix steps forward and puts a hand on her shoulder. She tenses at his touch, but then seems to relax. I can't look at either of them. I don't know what to do anymore. The heat in the room is making me sweat and I want to cough, but I'm afraid coughing will make the pain in my side flare up. They deserve what they got, dear, he says in a creepy, comforting tone. Besides, you're leaving out the best part. I don't know what you're talking about. Sure you do. The best part was, deep down, you liked burning them. I finally do look at the two of them. Felix has an arm around Meredith, and she's hanging her head ashamed, but nodding at the same time. I did like it, she whispers. Her voice is eerily calm, like she just admitted that she likes boy bands, not that she liked murdering her parents. Oh my God, Paskar, tell me this isn't happening. He tells me that it is. Nathaniel told us that she burned them. Why would I assume otherwise? Why can't I stop this? I ask him. Why can't I make Felix leave? You cannot make a person act against their own nature. Okay, great. I don't really know what that means, and I don't exactly have time to look it up because I'm probably dying here. Felix takes Meredith by the hand and starts to walk her away from me. Come with me, dear. Meredith pulls away from him and steps back toward me. I'm not going with you. Lily's hurt and you're evil. Thank you, Meredith. Evil? He acts offended, putting a hand on his chest like she stabbed him in the heart. I'm not evil. I want to help you learn to control your gift to help other people, to hurt the people who deserve it. Your foster family isn't going to understand any better than your real family did. And you owe me a life for a life. You took my son away from me. It's only right that you take his place. Leave her alone, I croak, clutching my side. Downstairs, someone bangs at the front door. I hear yelling, "Hello, is anybody home? I'm looking for a little girl. Oh, I hope they're talking about me, because I want to get out of this house now." The crazy in here just doubled. Felix looks at me, and I get the feeling he's staring into my soul. His weasel features clench up, and then his mouth curls into one of those creepy half smiles. You want to talk about evil, sweetie? Your best friend Lily thinks you're the evil one. That's not true. I can't hold it together, and I slip out of the chair. Now is a completely suitable time to cry, so I do. I want my mom and dad. I want Roger even. He would kick Felix's butt. He wasn't strong or nothing, but Felix doesn't seem like he's in that good a shape at the moment either. Geez, look at the blood on him. I bet I'm bleeding like that inside. I wonder if I'll get an airlift to the hospital after all this. Felix turns to Meredith and takes her hand again. She's looking down at me and holding his hand in return. Not just him holding her hand, she's holding it back. Meredith, don't listen to him. He's a weasel and a trickster. I told you I know all her secrets. He sneers at me. Let's go, Meredith says quietly. I don't need a friend who lies to me. From downstairs comes the sound of the front door crashing open. They probably didn't need to kick it in. I don't think it was locked. Just try the knob. I always try the knob. Paskar says it was locked. Well, okay, what do I know? I'm just curled up here in a ball waiting to die. Is it now? No, still alive. I've never felt this much pain before, though. Even when we got T-boned back 3 months ago when Roger died, I got something called whiplash that has nothing to do with actual whips, and it wasn't this bad. Someone's running up the stairs. I hear each heavy footstep, thump, 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 except it sounds like they're moving away from us rather than toward us. Or maybe this is me passing out. Is my body shutting down? I hear when you die, your whole life flashes before your eyes. I wonder if that happened for Roger or Miss Christie, the therapist. I wonder if my hamster saw its life flash before its eyes. That would have been short. I take one last look up at Felix and Meredith. They're holding hands and moving toward the window. She has one of those latched windows you can open easily. The ones in my room, you gotta get an adult to pull these little tabs on the side to slide them up. I wonder if I can get my parents to get me windows like the ones Meredith has. Or had, I guess, assuming I live. Where was I? Oh yeah, Meredith and Felix, stepping past me to the window, silent as mice, while the sound of someone approaching from the stairs is getting dimmer and softer. Felix has a look of confusion on his face, and is saying something to Meredith, but I can't hear him. She's looking over her shoulder back at me, and is mouthing something too. My insides feel like they're clenching up. I smell charcoal, like when my dad uses the grill to barbecue stuff in the summer. Speaking of summer, the temperature in the room is rising again, and there's a high-pitched whistling like a tea kettle. I don't like tea. How did somebody come up with the idea of soaking old leaves in water and drinking the grimy stuff that comes off them? That's just crazy. A lot of food is crazy if you think about it. Oh no, Meredith must be losing it. There's smoke filling the room. She's probably setting everything on fire because Felix told her I'm scared of her and think her burns are ugly. I can feel the heat, but I don't see the flames, just the smoke. Smoke starting to roll over me like waves. I'm on the beach, and the smoke is the ocean. I'm just gonna lie here in this smoke and let it cover me, I think. I can drown in the ocean. It's peaceful and quiet. But of course, it's not the ocean, and it's not Meredith. I know it's not. Just like Paskar told me. Just like I felt it before I got here. It's death coming for me. The angel of death and silence, Duma, and the woman in black. She's here in the doorway to the hall, looking at the three of us as Felix and Meredith are trying to climb out the window, and I lie here on the floor. 4 of us in the room. Really? 4 at once? 2 weeks ago there was just me and Paskar, and now I'm lying here on the floor of Meredith's bedroom while she runs off with the Weasel Man to go be super assassins or something, and the angel of death just pops by and goes, "Hey, I heard you guys were having a party." This is the worst day ever. Pass the potato chips, please, Lily. That's my brother Roger. He's 6 years older than me. We both like potato chips. Who doesn't? Even my pet turtle Raphael likes them. Raphael is sitting on the tablecloth next to me. He's so cute. I give him a potato chip and pass the bag to Roger. Raphael chomps on the potato chip. "Thank you, Lily." Roger smiles at me. "You're welcome," I tell him, and smile back, popping a potato chip in my mouth. It tastes like sawdust. My mom and dad smile at both of us, because they're so happy we're their kids. Roger plays in a band with his friends Skeeter and Dustin. Roger plays the drums. He's very good at it. My dad taught him how. Someday I hope he'll teach me too. We're having a wonderful picnic here by the lake. I can hear birds chirping in the trees. They sound so pretty. Out in the lake, my cousin Susie is swimming around. She loves to swim. She leaves a trail of red behind her in the water. Maybe after we eat, Roger and I can play in the lake with Susie. I love you guys, I tell my family. And you, Raphael. I pet my turtle. He turns and looks up at me and lets water pour out of his mouth. He's so silly. And we love you too, Lily. My mom pets my head. I like it when she pets my head. Back in 3rd grade, this lady used to come by our classroom, and we were always told to get out our pencils when she came by. We'd set our pencils out on our desks, and the lady would come to each of us and use our pencil to comb through our hair. I always loved it when the lady would comb through my hair with my pencil. I told my mom about the nice lady who would visit our classroom and gently comb our hair, and she told me it was the school nurse, and she was checking for lice. Roger nudges me. He's got on his favorite shirt with no sleeves, and his hair is brushed all neat and tidy. He grins at me. Look what I found. He hands me my foil Charizard. Hey, that's mine. Susie calls from down in the lake. She waves at us, but she's got no hand. We all laugh and wave back. Dad stands up and brushes himself off. He's wearing a nice black suit and tie. It must be pretty hot for this sunny summer day. Roger, he says, let's play some music for the ladies. Sounds good, Roger says. He hops to his feet. His belly sloshes because everything inside is mashed potatoes. There's a drum set out on the grass under a big willow tree, and Roger sits down and pulls out his drumsticks. He pours out the snare drum and gives it a tap. My dad pulls out a harmonica and polishes it on his sleeve. Pardon me, may I join you? Mom and I turn to see a dapper-looking man in a white shirt with a painted-on tie. He's got on black pants and a black vest. He looks very happy, and he bows to us both. My jaw drops. Paskar, is that you? He winks at me. It's time to wake up, Lily. No. Dad and Roger start playing a song, but it doesn't sound like music. Dad blows into the harmonica, and it makes a sound like a siren. Roger strikes the drums, and it sounds like crashing and things breaking. It's not a very good song, but it sounds typical for what Roger used to play when Skeeter and Dootin were over. Out in the lake, Susie is screaming and headbanging to the bad music. Her head kind of bends further back than normal, so she really whips her hair around. I imagine if she had hands, she'd be doing devil horns or something. That's where you put your index and pinky fingers up and hold your middle and ring fingers down with your thumb. Roger used to love to do devil horns while rocking out. Oh dear, Mom says and stands up, walking over to the barbecue grill. Something's burning. Black smoke is coming off the grill and forming dark clouds in the sky. I can smell the hot dogs and hamburgers burning, and it's upsetting because I really wanted a hamburger, but not if they're burned. Get them out of there, I yell to Mom. She turns and looks at me, and her face is all waxy looking and melting. I can still see her mouth and her teeth, but her eyes and her nose are sliding right off her face. It's too late, Lily, she says. Everything's burned. Paskar puts his hand on my shoulder. I warned you, he says sadly. But I'm not dead. I tell him. The sky is getting dark with the smoke from the grill. Out in the lake, Susie sinks below the surface of the water and leaves nothing but a big red spot where she was. Dad and Roger stop playing the bad song. Dad watches as Mom melts by the barbecue grill and then looks at me and shakes his head as he starts to melt too. This is all your fault. I open my eyes. I'm lying on the floor of Meredith's bedroom. Everything's smoky, but I can see some off-white stickers on the ceiling that look like stars and planets and comets. I bet they're glow in the dark. I wish the lights were out so I could see them glow. It's really hot in here. I glance around and realize the room is on fire. That's not good. How long was I out for? The picnic didn't seem. Well, okay, the picnic seemed to last about an hour. The wallpaper has flames coming out of it, and even the bed is burning. Nobody's going to be sleeping on that now. There's a crash from somewhere close by, and then the sound of someone struggling. Meredith? I say. Oh my God, I can speak. Lily, I hear her, but she sounds tired. It has definitely been a long day for both of us. I can't even remember what I had for breakfast. No, wait, I had frosted flakes. That's right. Lily, I burned her. I burned her right up. I didn't mean to do it. She must be referring to Officer Flowers, the lady in black, the policewoman who carries a totem of Duma, the angel of death and silence. She has been popping up all over the place lately. First the mall, then school. Now she showed up at Meredith's house, in the middle of Meredith and Felix making their grand escape. Wait, where's Felix? Where's Felix? I ask. It hurts to talk, and I start coughing. So smoky in here. We need to get out before we burn up. I don't feel anything. Of course she doesn't. Meredith's fires don't hurt her. Somebody just needs to teach her how to put them out. There's going to be an assembly on fire safety, if I recall. Heck, they could have Meredith help teach it. I sit up. Meredith is curled up in a corner, hiding her face. She's sobbing and holding herself and rocking back and forth. Between us, there's a person, curled up as well, only they're kind of on fire and not moving. Oh, Jesus. I can't tell who they are because they're all black and, like I said, on fire, but it must be poor Officer Flowers. She smells like burnt hamburgers. We gotta get out of here, Meredith. I choke on the smoke. I'm in a lot of pain, and your house is on fire. Are those glow-in-the-dark stickers on your ceiling? Just leave me. Somebody moves in the doorway to the hall. I turn to look. It's Roger. He's wearing his sleeveless shirt, and his hair is combed like at his funeral. Just her, ass face, he says. He walks off down the hall. Oh great, I'm hallucinating. I grab Paskar and Nathaniel off the bed. Scooting past the bad-smelling, burned-up body, I crawl over to Meredith and hold out Nathaniel. Nathaniel says we all need to leave. She takes her melted Barbie and hugs him to her chest. Outside, I can hear fire engine sirens. I wait, looking at her. Come on, Meredith, snap out of it. She looks back at me, tears in both her eyes. I still wonder if she can see me with that milky one. Now that Felix is gone, I can think more clearly. I whisper. He gets in your head. He makes you think things and say things. He makes you tell your secrets, Meredith mutters. Something big falls over downstairs with a crash. It sounds like Roger banging on his drums, but those are back at the picnic. No, wait, that was a dream. His drums are in our garage. I grab Meredith by the shoulders. Meredith, I'm not afraid of sharks. She tilts her head like a dog when you tell it to fetch and don't throw a stick. It's the universal sign for, huh? What does that have to do with anything? Don't you remember? I told you I was afraid of sharks. So what? Felix made me say it. Don't you get it? He told me to tell you what I'm scared of, and I said I was scared of sharks. Even in my head, I was thinking suddenly about how scary sharks are. But sharks are out in the ocean. I'm not scared of them. Or clowns. Well, okay, I'm unnerved by clowns. But I wasn't scared of them until Felix made me confess. So you lied? Oh God, the smell of the person on the floor mixed with the pain in my side is starting to make me sick. Can we discuss this outside, please? I don't want to die. Meredith nods silently. She looks at the dead person smoldering on the floor, then looks away and follows me as I head to the door. Just as we approach the hall, a big man in a yellow fireman's jacket and yellow fireman's pants and yellow helmet walks in. He stares at us, then past us at the burned body, then back at us. Girls, stay low. I'll get you out of here. Just give me a second. Are you real? I ask him. Yes, I'm real, he says. Okay then. He goes down the hall and comes back with a sopping wet blanket, which he makes Meredith and I wrap around us. Less than a minute later, we're breathing fresh air out on the front lawn, being given oxygen through some cool-looking rubber mask, while each wearing a less wet blanket. The firemen managed to put out the fire without too much more of the house getting damaged, but there's still the matter of the dead body inside. Meredith and I get to ride in an ambulance to the hospital, so they can take care of whatever's going on that's hurting so much in my side after the car crash. I wish it was a helicopter, but there's no room for one to land. Meredith, I say to her while the ambulance bumps along, I don't think you're ugly and you don't scare me. She looks at me doubtfully. You're one of my best friends. One of them? She asks. Like third best. Out of how many? Look, the point is, you don't scare me. And I don't think you're ugly. She blinks away some more tears. I hate having to talk about her appearance because I know how self-conscious she is of her burns. I've got to just stop beating around the bush and get to the point. I think the weasel burned your parents. The EMT sitting in the back with us raises his eyebrow. I shake my head at him because it's too much to explain. I think the weasel can get into people's brains. He almost made me believe the things I was saying about you, but he made one mistake. He told me my big fear was that my parents don't love me, and I know they do. I know they do. My parents love me. My dad just gave me a harmonica and is going to teach me how to play the drums. Lily? Meredith whispers. Yeah? She leans in close so the EMT can't hear her. It didn't make me happy when my parents died. I know I said I liked it, but I didn't. That wasn't me. I wish they were still alive. Even though they locked you in the basement? They never did. She covers her mouth to stifle a sob. I don't know why I said that. They didn't do that to me. They loved me. Maybe those are the weasel's secrets, I suggest. Maybe when he's around us, he can make other people believe his secrets are theirs. That would mean he did it, right? Do you think Felix killed my parents? Yeah, I do. You know what else that means. What? The weasel is scared of clowns. At the hospital, I'm taken to get an X-ray, while Meredith's foster dad meets her and gets her checked out. Apparently her foster mom, Mrs. Lake, is all right and just suffered a minor concussion from Felix banging her head against a wall, the jerk. I'm glad she's okay. Before we part, Meredith gives me a strong hug. I hug her back and whisper, watch out for weasels. After all, Felix is still out there. I hope he ran away to hide in a weasel den and leave Meredith and me alone for good. But someone like that, they're obsessed. I'm afraid he'll be back, and we'll have to deal with him again. The X-ray shows 2 broken ribs. To me, it feels like my whole insides were run through a blender. They put some sticky bandages on me and tell me to just rest and don't do any acrobatics. Also, avoid any more car crashes. That last part seems sadly harder to avoid than the first part. I've been in 2 serious ones in just 3 months after all. On the other hand, you see, Pashkar, you were telling me that things were going to end badly. I mean, I guess they did for Officer Flowers. I feel bad for her. I wish I knew what she was about. Duma said she wasn't there for me. I wonder who she was there for, because I don't think she went there for herself. Of course, with all us people and our totems and our angels together in the same place, it seemed to be scrambling the wires or something. Officer Flowers came for one of us and ended up being the one who died. I sense my death, and yet here I am, still kicking. Well, okay, I better not kick anything right now. I breathe a sigh of relief and wait for my parents to come pick me up. I'm sorry, Lily, Paskar says. It's okay. Even you, my best friend, can make a mistake from time to time. My mom eventually comes into the room, red-faced. She's been crying, and at the sight of me lying there waiting, all bandaged up, she breaks into crying again. She doesn't normally cry all that much, but maybe the whole thing with losing Roger in a car crash and then having to go to the hospital because I was in another one, it's probably all been too much for her. We hug and I pet her head. It's okay, I'm okay. I saved Meredith. I know you did, sweetie, she says, kissing me on the forehead. I suddenly remember that I don't know what happened to my dad. Is Daddy okay? Mom looks at me and holds my hands. She squeezes them just a bit too hard, but I don't cry or pull away because I need to let her do it. She shakes her head so slowly, so very slowly. She blinks away tears. That man that attacked you, he apparently tied up your father and put him in the trunk of the car. Oh God, he was in the trunk the whole time, the car that I made crash. If I hadn't made Felix crash the car, maybe. I start to cry with her and hug her, even though it hurts to be hugged. He's in intensive care. He suffered a lot of internal injuries, but he should be okay. Can we go see him? Sure. We can go back there and wait together, okay? She takes my hand and we head down to the ICU. I get this churning feeling in my gut as we walk past nurses, stations, and doctors' offices. Maybe it's the pain medication they gave me earlier for my ribs. As we walk, I look down at the shiny tiles. I wonder how much mopping has to get done to make this place always look so clean. Except there, where there's a spot of blood. And there. In fact, actually there's a lot of blood splatters. It's becoming hard not to step in them. I'm surprised that Mom is just walking through it all carefree in her expensive shoes. Normally, if she gets even a scuff mark on them, she goes ballistic. I guess there's more important things than shoes at the moment. I mean, I know there is, but Mom doesn't always think so. The blood on the ground starts flowing under our feet like it's fresh. I look up and the hallway seems to be slowly flooding with bloody water. It's going up over the toes of my shoes, but Mom doesn't see it. She looks down at me with her sad eyes and tries to fake a smile. I want to tell her. I want to warn her about the blood that's running over our feet. Down the hall ahead of us, I see my cousin Susie swim past. God, I'm hallucinating again. What is happening to me? I close my eyes, and when I open them again, the blood is gone. The floor is clean and clear again. Moments later, we stop in front of a dimly lit room with a shaded window looking in. My dad is lying in a hospital bed with dozens of machines hooked up to him, and I can just make out someone standing next to him, leaning over, probably checking one of the many tubes or wires connected to him. My dad's face reminds me of Felix's, not in the weasel sense, but when I last saw Felix, and his face was all bruised and there was blood running down from his hair. I'm seeing so much blood today. I hope Felix is off somewhere bleeding right now. Can we ask the doctor how he's doing? I ask Mom. What doctor? I feel suddenly cold as the figure straightens up and turns around to look at me through the window. At least, I assume she's looking at me. Her face and most of her body has been burned black by the fire. My dad was going to teach me how to play the drums. He was going to teach me how to play the harmonica too, though I was less interested in that. But he can't teach me anything right now, because he's lying unconscious in a hospital bed with tubes sticking out of his face and a bunch of fancy machines monitoring him. Mom and I stand beside him. She's crying and holding his hand. I wonder if he feels it and knows it's her. Can you recognize someone by the feel of their hands? Maybe he's dreaming that they're walking together down at Wolf Lake, where we always have family reunions. That's his favorite place in the world, I think. Mom's holding my hand too, because right now, the three of us are what's left of our family after Roger got mashed in a car accident 3 months ago. I hear her crying, but I'm not watching, because I'm too busy keeping my eyes on the lady in black, Officer Flowers, who's standing across the bed from us, charred up like a human marshmallow by my friend Meredith. Whenever my family and I go camping, we make s'mores, and I love to cook my marshmallow over the fire until it's all black and crispy on the outside. Then I squish it with a piece of chocolate between 2 graham crackers, and all the white marshmallow goop spurts out. Now I'm imagining squishing Officer Charmelo between 2 giant graham crackers and white goop oozes out of her. Oh, yuck. Okay, I just ruined s'mores for myself. Officer Flowers is staring back at me, I think. It's hard to tell since her eyes are all black too. Last time I saw her, she was curled up into a ball on the floor of Meredith's bedroom, still on fire. I'd almost think she got better or something, but that's never the case with things around me. The fact that my mom can't see her is another big hint. I have a premonition that in a couple minutes, the doctor's going to walk in and get my mom to leave with him somehow. I looked up premonition and found that pre means before, like a preview is something you view before the actual thing. A monition is a warning. So a premonition is a warning of something before it happens. But aren't all warnings about something before it happens? You don't warn someone about piranhas after they get eaten by piranhas, unless that person is Jeffrey Baker or Lisa Welch. Then I'd be like, oh no, look out Lisa, piranhas in the water, oh no, too late. Sure enough, just as I think about excusing myself to go to the bathroom, the doctor walks in with his white lab coat and his glasses on top of his head. I wonder if he knows he left them there. He's got a folder full of papers. Mrs. Maverick, he says to my mother, if I may, I've got some things we need to go over. Your daughter can stay here. Mom doesn't bother to correct him on our name. She just nods quietly through her tears, then takes my hand, puts it on Dad's hand, and she and the doctor walk out of the room together, where they start talking about my dad's condition right outside the window, like I can't even hear them. But I can. He's saying something about a medically induced coma and brain trauma. Trauma is never a good word in the hospital. They have a whole ward dedicated to it. Officer Flowers just keeps staring at me, so I stare at her back. I'm really good at staring. Roger used to always tell me to stop staring at him, so I made a habit of remembering to blink from time to time. I wish Paskar was here with me, but I left him in the room with my stuff while they bandaged me for my broken ribs. Are broken ribs cool? This kid at my school, Tyler O'Neill, once broke his arm in a skateboarding accident, and everybody at school kept coming up to him and going, "Whoa," and asking to sign his cast. I wonder if people will think I'm cool now since I got broken ribs. Also the whole escaping a burning building thing. Then again, Meredith escaped the burning building too. It seems like things become less cool the more people do it. If everybody escapes burning buildings, nobody's gonna care if you do it too. I wonder how Meredith is doing. I don't belong here. It's Officer Flowers. The inside of her mouth is bright red, so I can see it when she talks. Otherwise, it'd be like looking at just this crumpled up ball of paper that got tossed in the fireplace. Well, maybe you should go where you belong. I don't like her being here. Things die when she's around, like an entire pet shop. She reaches up to the front of her burnt uniform, and I notice that her police badge is still shiny and undamaged. She touches it and says, "Duma. Duma says I was not meant to die." You can hear Duma? Officer Flowers nods, which makes a crackling sound like wax paper. Oh God, that's the crunchy sound of her Charmelo body, isn't it? I gag at the thought. Now that I've passed the veil, I can hear him. He's had a lot to tell me. I hear the voice of Duma in my head. As he talks, her badge seems to shine just the slightest bit brighter. There was a plan, he says, an order to things, But one mistake in the design of the path caused everything to go bad and get steadily worse. I don't understand. I tell them both. Outside in the hall, my mom is nodding. As the doctor continues to tell her things I can't hear now, she looks in at me and holds up her hand. Officer Flowers takes over. It's important for you to know this, because you are the knife that cuts the veil. Each of us was given a purpose and a plan we followed, in most cases unknowingly. Then, by chance or poor planning, the paths of two intersected. Do you understand? I'm 9, not stupid. I have no idea what she means about me being a knife. You're talking about Meredith and Mr. Felix. The Charmelo nods again. I wish she wouldn't. It sounds awful when her burnt skin crunches and little bits of her crumble off. I shouldn't call her a Charmelo. I'm sorry, Officer Flowers. The incident between the two caused a disruption in the plan. This was exacerbated by the fact that Felix Clay carries the totem of the holder of secrets, Raziel. His awareness of the situation and the collapse of his mental state from the loss of his son changed things. Instead of our paths never crossing, we are becoming like a tangle of strings. This is making my head hurt. What does acerbated mean? She stands there silently for a moment. Exacerbated. It means to make things worse. I probably should have guessed that. Okay, so I lean to look around her and make sure my mom and Dr. Labcoat are still talking. Geez, I could probably wander off and find the cafeteria and get a snack and be back before they even noticed I was gone. You're saying I was never meant to meet Meredith, or Felix, or you. In fact, none of us were meant to meet ever? Ever. How did you get tangled in this? Duma responds. I had been guiding Samantha Flores down a career in law enforcement as an avatar of vengeance. Though we couldn't communicate, I was able to enhance her senses, making her a better detective and hunter. She worked for the Ryland Falls police force at the time that Joseph Clay died on stage after a fire broke out during a magic show being performed by his father. Jeez, this Duma really likes to talk. I can almost hear him sticking his nose in the air and holding a wine glass between two fingers while adjusting his monocle as he describes how he single-handedly made Officer Flowers into some sort of super cop. It's like everything he says gets run through a computer and translated into snob. I could sense that something was off. Officer Flowers folds her arms. The sound of her crunching sleeves makes me shudder. While I did not come into contact with Felix Clay, there was this residual aura left behind by him. I'd never seen anything like it before. I found that I could track his movements by following the trail, though I didn't know at the time that it was him I was following. I need to interrupt. I have to use the bathroom. She stands there looking at me silently, arms crossed. Seriously? I shrug. I'm 9 years old. I got a little bladder. Fine. I step past her, smelling the burnt hamburgers from my picnic dream as I do. Mom and the doctor stop their conversation to look at me. I tell her I'm just going to use the bathroom, and then wander off down the hall, where they got these funny bathrooms with stalls for people who might need help getting back up. There's even a cord you can pull to have a nurse or someone come and help lift you off the toilet. I wonder if they ever get people who pull it, even though they're fine. Just as I'm sitting there about to go, the lights flicker, and Officer Flowers seems to step into existence like she's made out of smoke. I scream naturally, because what the hell? Lady? I followed Felix Clay's trail to the burning of the Patterson residence that claimed the lives of John and Camilla Patterson, leaving their only child, Maird. Oh my God, are you seriously doing this? I'm on the toilet. I've never seen ghosts before, but now that I have, can I just say that they are huge jerks? I tried to be polite, but you know what? You are Officer Charmelo now, leaving their only child, Meredith. I did not know of Meredith's involvement in the fire that killed Joseph Clay, but my job became clear, to track down and enact vengeance upon Felix Clay for the deaths of John and Camilla Patterson. Okay, well, as you can see, he's not here in the bathroom. No Felix hiding in the trash bin or toilet bowl. You should go. I can't go anywhere. I'm bound to the hospital now. My body is down in the morgue. I feel ready to burst. Why are you telling me all this? What do you want from me? Like me, you and your father's destinies have been altered by the course of events. Although I've crossed the veil, I do have some limited influence before my totem becomes another's Beichin. ATEWW. If you will perform one last act and avenge me, I can help your father. Doing this will also fix the tangle of strings that are our paths and put things right again. There are others at risk from this. We need to fix it before too many others become affected by it. Let me get this straight. I can't even keep a hamster alive, but the angels are expecting me to fix their mess up that has killed at least 4 people that I know of, put a pet store out of business, burned down 2 homes, and put my dad in a coma. Can you give me 2 minutes to think about this? She turns away from me, and for a moment I think she's going to step back into nothingness like how she got here, but she just stands there, this looming, adult-sized, burnt corpse in a crispy police officer's uniform with little flaky bits falling off her. Outside? I say. She steps forward, vanishing like smoke. Jesus Christ. Thinking on it, I was figuring Felix wasn't done with Meredith anyway. He's got it in his head that he's going to fill her noggin with lies and turn her into some sort of punisher of normal people. I wonder why. If the angels gave us these gifts, if you want to call them that, why they don't just take his away, brush their hands off, and then kick his weasel butt into the lake of fire. I wonder if there really is a lake of fire. I should remember to ask Paskar when I get back to the room with my stuff. On the other hand, I've never killed anybody. I don't know that I could. I mean, it would be pretty easy. If I just got close enough to him, I could tell him that he's going to trip down a flight of stairs and break his neck. I always tried to avoid killing him, though. I don't know if you've got it in me. But I guess when it comes down to it, the most important thing is helping my dad. He still has to teach me how to play the drums. Otherwise, we gotta pay for a tutor. I finish up my business finally now that I've got privacy, wash my hands, you should always wash your hands, and then step out to find Officer Charmelo standing right outside staring at me. I almost have a heart attack. It takes me a moment to catch my breath. All right, I'll help, but I'm not shaking on it. I just washed my hands and your hands are really gross. Thank you, child, says Duma. But if I do this and you don't make my dad get better, we're gonna have a problem. That's how my mom always talks. She says we're gonna have a problem every time she expects me to do something like empty the dishwasher or clean out my backpack after a week of returned homework assignments. Lily, you better get your butt in the kitchen and empty the dishwasher, or we're gonna have a problem. I've learned from experience that the problem we're gonna have is that she's going to repeat herself only louder. In this case, I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's kind of an empty threat, but I hope she does what she promised. Officer Charmelo reaches up and removes the shiny badge from her chest. She holds it out to me. Take this, it's my connection to Duma. Isn't that a ghost badge? I mean, isn't your real badge down in the morgue with your body? No one else will be able to see it, yes. Do you want to be seen carrying the badge of a dead officer? I can think of some kids at school who I'd score cool points with if I showed up with a dead cop's badge, actually. But not kids I want to associate with. And yeah, I get her point. Careful to avoid touching her flaky, blackened skin, I pluck the badge from her hand. The moment I do, I feel strange. The lights in the hall seem to get brighter, and the air becomes dirty. I realize that I can see the little particles of dust floating around. And when I breathe in, I can smell and taste what each bit of dust is, and holy hell, I'm in a hospital full of sick people, and I can smell and taste them. There's a person in one of the nearby rooms, and they smell like fungus. Even worse, I suddenly become aware of other people in the hall. There's an old lady in a wheelchair leaning against the wall just down a ways from us. She stares at the floor and doesn't move, but I can tell she's not really there because she sort of fades in and out of my vision. Another one, a little boy whose face looks swollen and purplish, is sitting on one of those rolling hospital bed things. He's watching me, and I wonder how long he's been doing that. This is what every day was like for you? I feel a burp coming on, but it may be my tummy deciding to empty itself. I force it back down. This smells terrible. You now possess the power of Duma. You are an agent of vengeance. Officer Charmelo seems to turn somewhat transparent, like she really is made of smoke. You'll get used to it. I don't want to get used to it. I just want to kill Felix and save my dad. She starts to fade away. Her feet have already vanished. Her legs are trailing off like the genies in Aladdin. She would make a terrible genie, unless you were wishing for nightmares. Heck, I wasn't even wishing for nightmares and now I'm going to have nightmares. Never mind, Felix Clay. Avenge me as we agreed and then return here. What do you mean, never mind, Felix Clay? How am I gonna... Oh no. Her body is wisps of smoke now too. Her head and shoulders are all that's left. You must kill Meredith Patterson. She's gone. Wait 1 minute, I shout. Duma's badge shines in my hand. I tip my hand to drop it, and it vanishes the moment it hits the floor. A second later, it appears pinned to my shirt. Panicking, I claw at it, but my fingers go through it like it isn't there. The ghosts in the hall watch me silently. You must kill Meredith Patterson if you want to save your father, Duma says. I did not agree to that, I yell. A nurse passing by frowns at me. Yes, you did. Meredith didn't do anything. She was under Felix's spell. He made us both think things we wouldn't have otherwise. I need to get back to my room. I start running in the direction of it so I can get Paskar and talk this out. A doctor sees me and calls after me to stop running, so I turn it into a speed walk because those are allowed in hospitals. Meredith is the thread that tangles the knot, Duma keeps talking. He really does sound like a giant snob, like one of the jerk girls from Lisa Welch's crew. I don't want to talk to him. I want to talk to Paskar. If you kill Felix Clay, you and Meredith will remain tangled. More will become tangled. The only thing binding you to Felix Clay is Meredith Patterson. Once she's gone, shut up. He will have no reason to remain here. I get back to my room and Pashar is chilling on my hospital bed in his snazzy vest, leaning propped up against my backpack. He doesn't act at all surprised by the fact that I show up wearing Officer Charmelo's badge. I'm out of breath and my ribs have started to hurt some again, so I have to take a moment to calm down. Paskar, I'm seeing dead people, and I think I made a bad deal with one. I know, he says. I warned you. I'm sorry that it's had to come to this. What do you mean? Isn't there anything I can do? Yes. Unfortunately, you must get rid of Meredith. I can't believe this is happening. This is a bad dream. Wake up, Lily. Wake up. I don't understand. Felix is the real threat. He knows about you all and is evil. Why does it have to be Meredith? It's not our place to question the plan. This must be done to set things right. Any further deviations risk catastrophic consequences. Don't you want your father to get better? I don't want to do this. I want to make things right, but killing my third best friend is not making things right. Have any of you thought about how this is messing up my fragile mental state? I ask. I told you I'm sorry. I care about you. You know that. I'll always be here for you. You must do this one thing for us. I tried to guide you away from this outcome, but was unable to. I can only promise I'll never ask it of you again. If you don't do this, things will continue to get worse. I gather up my stuff, hesitate picking up Paskar, then sigh and take him as well. You better be ready to go with me to all my new therapy sessions, because I'm definitely going to need one now. This is so messed up. By the way, how come I'm seeing ghosts? You told me when people die they either go one way, the other, or sit in their bodies in purgatory. Duma the snob chimes in. Some people are never buried. They are cremated. A soul with no body to wait in can wander. Oh, shut up you, I snap. We walk. I walk back to my dad's room in the intensive care unit. The doctor in the lab coat is gone, and Mom is sitting in the room next to Dad, holding his hand again. When she sees me, she stands up, comes over, and gives me a great big hug. I see you went back to your room and got your stuff. She kisses the top of my head. Yeah, and a little something more. I wonder if she notices there's anything different about me. I notice more things about her than I think I ever have before. For one thing, I can smell her deodorant. There's coconut and shea butter in the shampoo she uses. Also, her heart is beating really fast. I can taste her hug. It's so unpleasant, but she feels warm, and I hug her back anyway. Your father is struggling, but they have some hopes of a recovery, she says. I can tell that she's lying because she uses this higher-pitched tone of voice. It almost makes her sound like she's a little kid. I can't explain how I know this. I just hear it and detect it. We'll visit and check on him every day until he gets better. I squish against her. Okay, do you want to get something to eat? And then head home. It's been an awful day. I imagine you just want to get some sleep. Sleep sounds nice. Mom ruffles my hair. She's trying to be playful, but with Dad in a coma right next to us, it kind of loses its flavor. Tomorrow, I'll take the day off and we'll do some stuff, just you and me. Sound good? I kinda wanna just go to school, I say glumly. Mom looks saddened. Oh, okay. I understand. Sometimes it's easier to take our minds off things if we just stick to our routines. Yeah, that and I have to kill a classmate. Make sure you check the air in the tires. That's Jamal. He lives next door to me and he's my second best friend, though he thinks he's my first. I'm borrowing his bicycle to get across town to the Red Moon Hotel, where my third best friend Meredith is currently staying. It's a long story, so let me just get you up to speed. Meredith has a melted Barbie named Nathaniel that makes her able to burn things when she's angry. I mean, like burn things without matches. I've burned things when I was angry, but they were old journals from second grade and I used a magnifying glass and the heat from the sun. It took forever, but I managed to burn a hole right through them. That's beside the point. Meredith has to die. The ghost of a dead police officer named Office Flowers told me this. It was backed up by my doll, Paskar. If I was someone else, this would sound crazy to me. So I'm not telling Jamal why he's loaning me his bicycle. He thinks it's because Meredith is in danger from a man who looks very weasel-like, who happened to assault my dad, kidnap me, crash our car, leaving my dad in a coma, and try to turn Meredith into a supervillain. I guess that's more believable to Jamal. It's been 3 days since Officer Flowers told me I had to kill Meredith if I wanted her to help my dad come out of his coma. I've been going to school every day since then, waiting for her to show up. I'm not sure how I would have killed her if she had shown up. I was still working that out, but when I'm around Meredith, the things I say tend to come true. So I could just tell her that she was going to accidentally stab herself with her pencil and boom. Except that would be awful. Ugh. Just thinking about it makes my tummy hurt. I don't want her to die. I've got to do this, though, as an act of vengeance for the Angel of Death. Because Meredith killed Officer Flowers. On purpose, I think. Maybe by accident. Whatever the reason, Officer Flowers died and wants revenge, and now it's my job. Lily. Hey, Lily. Jamal snaps his fingers in front of my face. I was zoning out again. You okay? Yeah, I'll check the air in the tires. Meredith didn't show up for school. Not Wednesday, not Thursday, and not Friday. I should have figured she wouldn't. I mean, I ended up with 2 broken ribs, trapped in a burning house, Meredith's house, and my dad in a coma. And I still went back to school the next day. But if I didn't have to kill Meredith, I'd probably have taken the rest of the week off. Instead, I spent those days gathering information about where she was. Obviously, she didn't go back to the home of her foster parents, because it was all burned up and taped off by police as a crime scene. So where did they go? Thankfully, the town isn't huge, so word gets around. According to Bobby Sedgwick from 6th grade, the Lakes, Meredith's foster parents, moved into the Red Moon Hotel just off the highway. He heard this from his dad, who works at the post office where Mr. Lake stopped by and asked them to forward his mail there until their house got repaired. Bobby told Tyler O'Neill because they always play kickball together. Tyler told everybody else, except me. I just happened to overhear 2 girls talking about it while I sat on the swings at morning recess on Thursday. They like Tyler a lot. He's popular because he's good at sports. I've packed my backpack for the trip. A flashlight in case I go someplace dark, check. A screwdriver for taking screws off things, check. They always gotta unscrew stuff in movies. Especially in hotels. Hotel killing is like 90% crawling through air vents, if movies are to be believed. 2 chocolate bars. Check. Jamal gave me those. He said, take these. And I said, why? And he said, in case you get hungry. He's so nice. A knife, in case things get desperate. Check. Mom didn't see me stuff it in my sweatshirt sleeve at breakfast. It's kind of gross because it had butter on it, and now my arm's all greasy. Extra socks. Check. You never know when you need extra socks. And of course, there's Paskar, poking his head out the top of the backpack. Check. I've also got a $20 bill I borrowed from Mom's purse this morning. She might not notice it's missing because she usually carries a bunch of money for taking clients out to lunch. My mom is an executive. I asked her once what an executive does, and she said they execute people. Then she and Dad laughed. I wonder if they'd be laughing now, knowing that I'm following in her footsteps. "Hey Jamal," I say as I zip up my backpack and throw it over my shoulder. "Yeah?" "Be careful going up your front steps or you're going to trip and scrape your knee." I climb on his bike, but it's too high up, so I straddle the top tube. "And thanks for the bike and the chocolate." He grins at me. I'll go around back and just avoid the stairs altogether. Jamal always listens to me. Thursday night, I looked at a map to find the quickest way to get to the Red Moon Hotel, and then used the little scale thing on the map to figure out how far away it was. Because it would take about half an hour, I figured the best time to go would be Saturday morning while my mom was at her Pilates class. She's there right now, thinking I'm at home watching cartoons or up in my room painting a still life, not pedaling my way out of the neighborhood with only a vague sense of where I'm going and a backpack full of murder tools. She'd flip out if she knew I left the house, because the weasel-like guy Felix knows where I live and is still out there. She wouldn't have gone to Pilates class at all if I hadn't promised to keep all the doors locked and the cordless phone within reach. The ride across town is uneventful. I keep an eye out for cars following me. Felix is a nasty customer, as they say. He gets in your head, knows your secrets, and when me or Meredith are nearby, he somehow makes you think and act in ways that you wouldn't normally. I don't really understand it all. Neither does Pascar. He admitted to me that the whole boost we get when we're around each other is an unexpected side effect. That's why it was decided by whoever makes decisions that those of us with totems should be kept away from each other. Pascar is my totem. Meredith's is her melted Barbie Nathaniel. Felix has a locket with a photo of his son in it. Supposedly that's his totem for Raziel, the Angel of Secrets, but I haven't exactly gotten to talk to Raziel, so I can't be sure. A half-hour pedaling, with 5 minutes break to eat chocolate, is kind of boring, so I distract myself by singing. Going down to Cow Town, Cow's a friend to me, lives beneath the ocean, that's where I will be. I can only ever remember the chorus of that song. At least I know all the lyrics to Take On Me and Don't Stop Believing, so I switch to those tunes every now and then. The journey is made slightly more interesting by the fact that having Duma with me makes me sense things differently. I can hear birds flapping their wings and see trails of what I guess are auras or something that people leave whenever they walk around. Things are a lot noisier with Duma. Beneath the waves, that's where I will be. I wonder what Meredith is doing at the hotel. Maybe she's spending all her time in the pool. Would that cancel out her fire? Probably not. I'll bet she can keep the water nice and warm though. Pools at hotels are always chilly. Hell, she could probably even stew people in it. Yikes. Note to self, stay out of the pool. Duma asks if he can teach me a new song. I tell him no, because I don't really like Duma. He seems really snobby, and isn't even really there. The badge attached to my shirt with the name of Officer Flowerstown is a ghost badge, and I can't get rid of it. When I take my shirt off, it appears pinned to my skin, which really freaks me out. I can hear the cars on the highway well before I get close to it. Up ahead is the Red Moon Hotel. Whoever designed the sign for it was lazy, because there's nothing indicating the big red circle is the moon, except that the name of the hotel is the Red Moon Hotel. It could just as easily be the Red Circle Hotel or the Red O Hotel. Red Pizza Pie Hotel. Now I want a piece of pizza. We're gonna see the cow beneath the sea. I park Jamal's bike behind a dumpster and lock it to a railing. He told me his lock combination so the bike wouldn't get stolen. I think at this point my mission should be one of stealth. The fewer people that know I was ever here, the better. There's an old man with a big white beard in the little office building where people check in. Pascar says his name is Rudolfo. That sounds too much like the name of Santa's reindeer. Apparently he's from Italy, and it's best I don't know what type of magazine he's reading, but he is reading it and got his feet up on the desk, so he's not paying any attention to a little 9-year-old girl with her backpack creeping past his door. However, he's going to flip the page and check the clock in less than a minute, so I scoot by just before he does. It really helps to see things before they happen when you're trying to not be seen. Geez, there's like 100 rooms here. Or 40. I guess 40 is a better estimate. I walk along the row of doors that look out toward the parking lot and the highway. Someone's watching television, and there's a commercial for heartburn relief on. Someone else is taking a shower and using soap that smells like a punch in the face from a leprechaun. All the sounds and smells are making me want to plug my ears and nose. But the worst part is the sheer number of cockroach tippy-taps I hear. So many cockroaches. I hear every skittering sound they make with their little feet. I feel like if I got any more sensitive, I'd be reading their tiny brain thoughts. Do cockroaches even have thoughts? I imagine if I was a cockroach, all I'd think about was how gross I was. I pass room 34 and suddenly the air gets darker. There's smoke. Oh my God, the hotel is on fire. No, wait, that's just me. Oh my God, I'm on fire. Except there's no heat. Or flames. Oh, this is that black smoke that came off Officer Flowers. This is a sign. Meredith, I'm getting closer to her. I wonder if she'll be able to see this black smoke. Shoot. This is not stealthy at all. Just as I reach the next hotel room, the door to room 36 opens, and Mrs. Lake, Meredith's foster mom, walks out. She doesn't seem to notice me, and turns in the opposite direction, heading toward her car, I guess, leaving a trail of faint blue aura behind her. She's got her keys with her, so she must be going somewhere. Moments later, I watch her drive off. Room 36, this is it. This is Meredith's room. I crouch down and drop my backpack. Gotta be quick, can't think. In and out, kill Meredith. Save Dad. I test the doorknob gently. Locked. Nobody's coming. The black smoke that's covering me is seeping under the door. I really hope she doesn't see it. I can hear her inside watching a cartoon. Pull out the screwdriver. Gotta take the doorknob off. I don't even know if that works. You know what? It doesn't matter, because I brought one of those screwdrivers with the cross thingy tip, and these screws use the flat kind. Oh great. I put the stupid screwdriver back and pull out the knife. Maybe I can jimmy the lock. I wonder who Jimmy was that they named breaking locks after him. I'll bet he was a burglar or something. Jimmy the cat burglar. Now I'm wondering why they call them cat burglars. The hamburglar steals hamburgers, so a cat burglar must steal cats. But why? Maybe nobody would sell them cats anymore. After all, I imagine most pet stores in the area have a photo of me with a sign that reads, "Do not sell to this customer." I'm in the middle of that thought when the door opens and Meredith is standing there. Lily, what are you doing? I'm kneeling in front of your hotel door with a butter knife. What does it look like? Meredith, hi. How did you know where I was? Did the angels tell you? She opens the door further. That's a really tiny hotel room. It looks like her foster parents sleep in separate beds too, and Meredith has a sleeping bag on the floor. Oh, she's watching Bugs Bunny. No, actually, I heard it at school. I stand up and stuff the butter knife up my sleeve. She sees me do it though, so it's kind of pointless. You haven't been coming to class, so I came to find you. I came to say sorry about your house burning down and your turtle dying. Are you watching Bugs Bunny? She nods. Yeah, do you want to come in? Sure. I grab my backpack and follow her into the tiny hotel room. There's clothes all over the beds. I can tell the difference between the clean clothes and the dirty clothes from the smells. It's really distracting. Duma takes this moment to start singing. It startles me, but fortunately Meredith can't hear it and she looks away just as I jump. Shall my soul ascend with rapture when the day of life is past, while my house of clay shall slumber? Shall I then with Jesus rest? Oh my God, shut it. I snap at him. Meredith looks back at me. What? I clench up. The door. We should shut the door. It's not safe outside. Oh yeah. She shuts the door behind us. All right, I'm in. I've got to do this. How? What way would be the gentlest? I don't want her to suffer. I can't just say, "You're going to die." Because what if the manner is violent and painful? Maybe I tell her that she's going to die in her sleep. But even that could be painful if she chokes on her tongue, or the television falls on her head. We got Oreos if you want any. Oh, Oreos. Actually, I have a chocolate bar if you want a piece. Meredith smiles and sighs. I'm really glad you showed up. I've been so worried about you. And I miss school. And you. Did I say I'm glad you're here? Yeah. Well, I am. If that Felix guy shows up, this time I'll burn him alive. Suddenly she grabs me and squeezes me in a big hug. It hurts. Ow, ow, ribs, my ribs. I moan. Oh, sorry. She lets go. I rub my achy side. It's okay. I missed you too. How am I supposed to kill this girl? I can't do this. I shouldn't have come here. There's black smoke everywhere too. And that's real annoying. I can feel it on my legs, this cold, oily feeling, and I want it to stop, but it's not going to until either Meredith is dead or I'm gone. Duma starts bossing me around. Tell her that she's going to die. Just be done with this. Shut up, Duma. Actually, Meredith. My brain is going haywire with all the sounds and smells, and I'm trying to see how she dies in my head, but all I see is this stupid black smoke. I would love some Oreos. Okay, me too. Mrs. Lake, my mom, went out to the store just like a minute ago. She'll be back, but if you want, we can watch cartoons and just hang out. Sounds good. The badge on my shirt flashes angrily. If you won't get this done, I'll handle things, Duma says, and then the badge fades from my shirt. What does that mean? The cold oiliness leaves my legs, and I watch as the smoke that's all around my feet starts to move like water, gathering up beside me. In a moment, it seems to take on the form of a person, like I'm standing in front of a bright light, and my shadow is projected on the air beside me. I stare at it. It looks back at me. It is me. What the? I start to say. The shadow steps past me, toward Meredith, who's hunched over going through a grocery bag by the little fridge that comes with the room. I don't know how this works, but if she dies there, she's going to crush all the Oreos. The shadow's legs look like they're connected to mine, so I step back, dragging Duma away from Meredith as he reaches for her. He turns. Stop it, he tells me. Just let me do this so we can be done. What the what? Meredith stands up and walks right through Duma's shadow. I tense up, thinking she's going to turn to dust or drop straight dead or something. But instead she hands me Oreos like a good friend, smiles, and then goes to sit on the far bed. I can't take it anymore. I stick the Oreos in my pocket. Meredith, I have to be honest. Okay? She brushes her hair out of her milky eye and looks at me. Duma's shadow drifts toward her. I feel like Peter Pan if Peter Pan's shadow was trying to murder all the Lost Boys. I take a deep breath. I have to tell you this fast because there's an angel who's seriously trying to kill you right now. But the lady in black who you killed in your home was after Felix, not you. And now her angry ghost has told me that if I kill you, she'll help my dad who's in a coma. And the real reason I came here was to, I can't say it outright. I'm such a terrible friend to get my dad out of the coma. I try to grab the smokiness that I'm projecting and pull Duma's shadow back like he's on a rope, but it does no good. My hands just go right through it. Instead, I step back, dragging him with me. He looks at me again, and I can tell he's glaring at me, even if I can't see his face, or her face, because it's my shadow. He looks just like my silhouette. What I just said is still sinking in with Meredith. Wait, you came here to kill me? I didn't want to. You're my best friend. Third best, really. I don't need to say that, though. Is the room getting hotter? I can see Meredith clenching her fists slightly. No, that's not a good sign. No fire, Meredith. But I hold up my hands like maybe I can ward off her burning me alive. But I got a better idea, because friends don't kill friends, right? Friends don't kill friends. Meredith nods. She unclenches her fists. What are you doing, Lily? Paskar asks. Paskar says that if you give me your Barbie, the one I told you has an angel in it, I can use her to stop Felix. No, don't do that. I never said that. Meredith looks at her sleeping bag. Barbie? But Duma's shadow lurches forward and his hand goes right into Meredith's chest. Whatever she was about to say is cut off by her gasping out in pain. I leap back, banging against the door, but Duma doesn't come with me. He's got his hand on her heart or something, and he's holding on, rather than getting pulled with me. He's going to kill her. Stop. Duma, stop, I yell. He ignores me. Meredith makes a choking sound and falls back on the bed, her arms flailing at her sides. I can't watch this happen. I need to do something. She looked at her sleeping bag. Nathaniel and the melted Barbie must be in there. I run over to it. It's actually a really soft sleeping bag, and got one of those built-in pillows. Fancy. The one we use in my family is like an heirloom, I think, passed down from my dad's great-great-great-great-grandfather. Also, I think someone peed in it centuries ago and it didn't get washed for a long time after. There's always this smell. Never mind that. Nathaniel is right there in the bag. I grab him and he urgently declares, "Run," so I do just that. I'm hoping if I get far enough away. Out the hotel room door, into the parking lot, past several parked cars, and after a few more feet, the black smoke that was trailing off me like a waterfall vanishes. From the open hotel door, I hear Meredith suddenly scream, followed by a loud crash. Other people poke their heads out of their rooms and start asking each other where it came from. I hear a couple different people dialing on their phones and calling for emergency services. Man, I can't go 10 minutes around Meredith without emergency services being called. It's ridiculous. Officer Flowers' ghost badge reappears, pinned to my shirt. "Do you have any idea what you've done?" I hear Duma shouting. The badge isn't just shining with his words, it's glowing. It's like an oven burner when you set it to the highest temperature. I think that if it weren't a ghost badge, it would be burning me. I ignore him and run without looking back. Rudolfo, the Italian hotel manager, comes hurrying out of his office and past me. "Me?" I finally snap at Duma. What kind of angel tries to kill a little kid? I cut around the corner and back to Jamal's bicycle, locked behind the dumpster. The angel of death. "You need to go back and finish this," Paskar says grimly. "Carrying 3 totems is dangerous. You're attracting the wrong sort of attention." Smile. "I'm not going to kill Meredith." I hiss at all the voices. They're distracting me too much and making it hard to remember Jamal's bike lock combination. I'm going to kill Felix. Felix Clay is only in town because of Meredith. Without her totem, he will have no reason to not take out his revenge on her for what he perceives as the murder of his son. With her totem, she will continue to pose a threat by being near you. You're talking too much. I can't think. You are making things worse. I pound my fists on the bike seat. I didn't ask for any of this. I can see heat building through my fingers. They all go quiet. Thank God. I'm able to think and focus on the combination. Once it's off, I hop back on Jamal's bike and start pedaling toward home. Along the way, an ambulance drives by, its lights not flashing, which I hope is a good sign that I managed to keep Duma from killing Meredith. I'm sorry, Meredith. I'm so angry. I scream at the top of my lungs. Some kids playing in their front yard look at me like I'm crazy. Maybe I am crazy. "Lily," Paskar says, "what do you want?" I don't want to talk to Sacker. I don't want to talk to Nathaniel either. I especially don't want to talk to Duma. You need to go back to the motel. I told you, I'm not going back. I'm not killing one of the only 2 people in this world who is really my friend. You angels are screw-ups. You made a mistake, and now you're putting all this on me to fix your screw-up. Well, that's not very grown up. You need to turn around, right now. I'm not killing Meredith. Dumas speaks next. I grit my teeth, because his snobby voice just boils my blood, and the padding on the handlebars of Jamal's bike is starting to smolder. I can sense the heat building up in my hands, even though it doesn't hurt. It's red hot like the rage in my head. "Lily," Duma says, "we won't ask you to kill Meredith, and I should never have tried to do it myself. You must go back to the hotel, though." I slow my pedaling. "What for?" I snarl. "Look behind you." I pull the bicycle over and look back. The 2 kids who watched me scream as I rode past are jumping up and down, shouting and pointing. Who wouldn't? There's a tree in an adjoining yard, and the whole thing is up in flames. Burning branches are collapsing under their own weight. It's a roaring inferno. "What just happened?" I whisper. Pashar answers. "Felix Clay just drove by in a stolen ambulance." Shit. Tired of all this. I want to go home and not look back and curl up in bed. Maybe pedal over to the cemetery and see Roger and ask him if he wants to trade places for a bit. Maybe he'd like to get up, stretch his legs, and play with 3 crazy angels for a while. I think Felix would have a hard time dealing with Roger. Not because he's dead, but because he always liked to argue. Pashkar's talking to me. You cannot continue to carry 3 totems. Even just having 2 was a risk. Just stop. I've had Paskar for years and he always told me stuff. Ever since Meredith showed up, though, he's been telling me stuff I feel like I should have been told sooner. There are others with angels for one, and some of them are crazy. And if we get close to each other, bad things can happen. Like one of us can wipe out an entire pet store. That seems like a pretty big important thing to let someone know. You need to know this. I sit on Jamal's bike and watch a tree burn. I accidentally set it on fire when I got angry earlier, and just happened to be passed by an ambulance that apparently had Felix in it. There's people running around yelling, and some lady in a white shirt and grandma pants keeps running out of her house with a pitcher and throwing water on it. Grandma pants are what I call pants that billow out like a genie's pants and are covered with flowery designs. They're what my Nana always wore. Fine, what is it? There is an angel named Samael, also called the seducer and the one who accuses. He is drawn to power and answers to none but himself. Normally, Pashkar drones on almost like a computer. Now he sounds afraid. Even when Roger was dangling him out a car window, he never showed fear. I guess Sammy terrifies him. And what? He's going to kill me because I have 3 totems? Worse. There isn't a lot I can imagine that's worse than dying. Torture. They must be talking about torture. I know torture. I've been in 2 car wrecks recently. I saw a woman burn to death and curl up into a little ball like a pill bug. I had to sit in Mr. Longbow's office right next to Lisa Welch. I'd still rather do those things all over again than die. Just focus, Lily. Get the doll back to Meredith. But why? I ask. If you said she had to die, and not having Nathaniel will get her killed, then isn't this what you want? The totem must be under the control of its earthly connection at the end of their life in order for it to be passed on. Oh great, that's Duma speaking. He sounds like someone is constantly pinching his nose shut. And he wears a monocle, and smokes a cigarette on the end of a long stick which he flicks the ashes onto people as they go by. What? What? I hate it when Duma speaks because he doesn't care if I understand what he's saying. It's very complicated, Paskar says. I'll explain. Just get back to the hotel. Now. Somebody shoves me from behind. Hard. I almost fall over the handlebars of the bike. But when I look back, there's nobody there. Did one of you just shove me? I don't wait for an answer. I get the message. I hop back up on the bike seat and start pedaling in the direction of the highway that the hotel is near. I wonder what my mom is doing right now. Maybe she stopped to get a coffee on her way home and doesn't know I'm gone yet. She'll flip out when she finds me missing. I wouldn't blame her either. I hope she understands I'm doing this, all this, to save my dad. If I can fix the tangled mess of strings the angels made. The hotel isn't far, thankfully. I'd only just left it a few minutes ago. Bolted is probably a better word. Okay, I ran like hell. Up ahead, I can see the ambulance parked in the lot and bunches of people standing around rubbernecking. Lily, Paskar says, imagine a tracking device, like in a spy movie. Which spy movie? I like spy movies. I saw one once where a guy was wearing a mask that made him look like another guy. He couldn't talk though because he still sounded like himself. It doesn't matter which one. Some spy movies don't have tracking devices. I grumble. I'll think of the one with the guy in the mask. It had a tracking device. They hid it in a computer disk, and when a bad lady used the disk, they were able to locate her. Each totem gives off a signal like a tracking device. The more totems there are in close proximity, the more powerful the signal. Samael is drawn to that signal. Do you understand? Somewhat. I don't know what a proximity is, but I think I got the idea. So why does Samael want totems? The crowd up ahead is moving out of the way, and I see Meredith. She's being carried out of her family's hotel room by a person wearing an EMT uniform. He's got a surgical mask over his mouth, but I recognize those weasel features even from across the parking lot. Also, I can totally see his stupid weasel aura. It's brown, like a weasel. Someone in the crowd covers their mouth and whispers, "Oh my God, someone burned that poor child." Little do they know they're watching the culprit put her in an ambulance. "Meredith!" I yell, hopping down off the bike and letting it clatter to the ground. Meredith doesn't look up. She seems limp and unconscious. Felix looks up though, and squints his weasel eyes at me. I squint back. At the same time, I can feel the air around me start to heat up. I clench my fists. I think for a second that my shoes are on fire for some reason when black smoke starts appearing from under my feet. I forgot that happens. Felix sees this and does a double take, looking at me, then Meredith, then back at me. He almost drops her, but stops himself and adjusts his footing, then lays her down in the back of the ambulance. "Lillian," he calls to me as I march toward him. "Did I just pass you on the way here? I thought that was you. That means you did this to Meredith? Goodness, how violent you've become." The crowd turns to look at little, old me. I don't care. I'm staring at Felix. Death daggers. That's what I'm doing. Shooting death daggers with my eyes. The tarmac of the parking lot starts to blister. A nearby telephone pole starts hissing and then splits up the middle, and a pillar of flame runs up both halves. Everybody starts yelling and pointing, not realizing that the source of it all is the little girl with the angry death dagger eyes and the weasel-faced man in the EMT uniform. I guess it's mostly me. Felix watches all this, and I can see his eyes get big, but he grins beneath his surgical mask. "Is that you doing that, Lillian?" "It is." "Oh, you have Meredith's toy. That means I could have this power, doesn't it? If I take it from you? Amazing." He brushes off his hands, even though I don't think they were dirty. "Lillian, you know you want this to all be over. You want to be rid of those annoying angels. Just give them to me and I'll take care of them." "I don't think so. Mr. Felix, Mr. Weaselman, I'm gonna deal with you, and then..." He suddenly turns to a man standing near him. "Excuse me, Mr. Jensen. Mr. Lawrence Jensen?" The man is big, real big. He towers over Felix. He's got a big, bushy brown beard and a leather jacket with a skull on it that looks like it's made of metal. I want to guess that he's a motorcyclist, maybe rides with a bunch of other big bearded men through the desert, and hangs out in seedy bars by the side of a barren highway. But it would be wrong to judge people based on how they're dressed. He turns at the name Jensen and looks confused. "Do I know you?" Felix doesn't acknowledge the question. "That little girl there with the brown hair and the death dagger stare stole a couple dolls from this one I'm helping." I stutter. "What? No, I didn't." "Oh wait, I sort of half did." Mr. Jensen, the maybe a motorcyclist, turns and looks at me and his beard bends down in a scowl. He looked like Santa Claus's angry brother, Auntie Claus. "Hey, you," he says at me. "Come here. You're going to give that girl her dolls back." Felix winks at me. "She also stole your wallet." I go from angry to scared. Anti-Claus balls up his fists. He wouldn't hit a little girl, would he? I'm only 9 years old. On the other hand, I don't think he's in his right mind. Felix and his stupid magician tricks. "He's lying to you, mister," I yell. Most of the rest of the crowd have run off to call the fire department or try to put out the burning telephone pole. But a couple people just stand there on either side of me watching this giant bear of a man start coming toward me threateningly. "Help!" I yell to them. "You don't want to help her," Felix addresses the two people. "She's a little thief." They shrug and turn away. I hate his stupid mind games. I step back. The big man continues toward me. "Mr. Jensen," I tell him, "I'm sorry, but you're about to break your ankle." I don't even have to snap my fingers or nothing. He just takes his next step and his leg goes wonky. We can all hear the snap and his foot turns in the wrong direction. Like, the really wrong direction. And for such a big, tough-looking man, he screeches like my Nana when she thinks there's a mouse on the floor. Down he goes, tumbling over, gut first, then rolling onto his back with his leg up and his foot hanging crooked off it. "Oh God, I did that. I'm so sorry." The two people who had turned away look back at Mr. Jensen, then at Felix, who should of course be helping him, what with him being an EMT and all. Felix hoots and claps his hands. "Fantastic. Oh my, you are really getting the hang of things, aren't you, my dear? Now I can go back to being mad." Felix is laughing at that poor man's pain. He's got Meredith. He's taunting me. I can feel it all boiling over, like when I left the kettle on the stove to heat some water and forgot to listen for the whistle, and all the water boiled off, and then the bottom of the kettle melted into a lump of slag. My dad got so pissed when that happened. I wasn't allowed to heat water by myself anymore after that. I just wanted to make a cup of hot cocoa. I could actually use a cup of cocoa right now. "Lily, hurry," Pascar says. The black smoke circling about my ankles churns like one of those tide pools you see at the ocean. It swells up, tumbles over itself, and slowly forms into my shadow. I turn and look at Duma. He nods at me. Felix's jaw drops. What is that? Is that another gift? Oh my, that's one of them. Duma, of course, from the police officer back at the house. How did you, I see? Will you shut up? I yell at him. As if in response, he immediately goes quiet. His mouth keeps moving, but nothing comes out of it. At first, I think I lost my sense of hearing, except of course I can hear a fire truck's siren in the distance, and people shouting still. And Auntie Claus lying on the ground howling about his ankle and how he's going to get me. So it's not me. Felix has lost his ability to talk. Ha ha ha, perfect. Felix Clay, you have the right to remain silent. I tell him. Duma steps forward and cracks his knuckles. Except he's made of smoke, so it doesn't really do anything. It doesn't even make a sound. Maybe he wasn't cracking his knuckles. Maybe he was just balling up his hands together for some reason. I don't know. I say he cracks his knuckles. For the first time since I've met him, Felix looks scared. He's clutching his throat, as if he can squeeze the words out of himself like a tube of toothpaste. Roger once stuck a tube of toothpaste under my bedroom door and stomped on the other end, so it squirted all into my room. He said it made my whole room smell minty. It was true, but he still got in trouble for it because he wasted toothpaste and Dad had to scrub the toothpaste out of the carpeting. My room smelled like toothpaste for months. In a panic, Felix reaches into his pocket. I think for a moment that he secretly had a knife or a gun on him this whole time in case of emergencies. Wouldn't that just be like him, the weasel? I'm winning, and he's gonna shoot me? I don't think so. He pulls something out and throws it at me. It's small, and I don't really see what it is, but I cover my face and just happen to catch it in my hand. It's his locket with the photo of his son in it. I look back up and Felix has vanished. Duma is standing there alone in his shadow me form, looking back at what I'm holding. Paskar is shouting something, but it sounds like he's shouting from out the door, down the hall, in the bathroom, like my dad does when he showers and someone flushes the toilet downstairs. I don't know what he's saying. Nathaniel is yelling too. Why do they all have to yell? I need to focus. Duma and I were just about to tear Felix apart. Someone puts their hand on my shoulder from behind. Did Felix get behind me somehow? I feel my fists burning, and I turn ready to punch him with them. But it's not Felix. It's a man dressed all in white. He's got a fancy jacket and tie and pants, and even his shoes are white. His teeth are really white, and he's smiling down at me. His hair is all neat and combed like Roger's was at his funeral. Nobody could really recognize him. Even this man's hair is white, although he doesn't look old or anything. Who are you? I ask, holding my red-hot hands up to show I mean business. I wonder if I would leave black scorch marks on his fancy suit. I'm Raziel, he says. His voice is really soft and gentle, almost like a whisper, except not. Like when you tell someone to whisper, but they don't know how, so they just talk like they're trying to coax a cat out of a tree. I look down at the locket in my hands. Raziel was Felix's angel. This locket is Raziel's totem. Why would Felix give me his one means of defending himself? Maybe without it, I can't track him. Maybe he realized that he had no hope of fighting me with 3 angels helping, so he ditched his and ran scurrying like a weasel into some cave to hide. After all, the totems are like tracking devices, Paskar said. Speaking of Paskar, he's gone quiet. They all have. I look up and we're not even standing in the parking lot of the Red Moon Hotel. We're standing in some sort of white room. How did I get here? Am I imagining this? Is this one of my visions? It doesn't feel like it. It feels real. But Pasha and Nathaniel are silent, and my shadow Duma is missing. Or maybe he's there. It's just that everything is so bright white, I can't really see him. I don't know. You have a lot of questions, I know, Raziel says. I don't, I say. I just need to get back to where I was and stop your owner from getting away. Can we talk later? I got priorities. You don't need to worry about him. He's not going anywhere. Nobody is. Time isn't flowing as it normally does while we talk. So if I go back to the hotel right now, everybody will be frozen in time? No, we're outside of time. So if I go back? He holds his hands up to my face. You can't go back. Not right now. Once you do, things will be just like you left them. Unless you don't want them to be? What do you mean? I can change things? He smiles at me. He must brush his teeth like all the time. All the time. He's really got nice teeth, is what I'm saying. I don't normally notice people's teeth, but his are intensely white. If you want to change things, we can change things. Is that what you want, Lily? Kinda. Of course I would change things. Let's see. First, I would go back and not get in the car with Felix so I don't make him crash and put my father in a medically induced coma. I also wouldn't cause Officer Flowers' death by being at Meredith's house, I think. Maybe she'd still die. Or maybe Meredith and Felix would be off together killing normal people. Okay, so maybe I still needed to get in the car. Unless I could call my dad and warn him not to let Felix into the house. Or just not meet Meredith at all. Dang, so many options. Lily, hello. Raziel calls my name in a sing-songy fashion. Earth to Lily. Sorry, I was thinking. I know, but I also know what you really want to change. I cock my head. What's that? He claps his hands once. It's really loud, and seems to echo, even though this white room is so white that I can't tell where it begins or ends. It sounds like he clapped in an auditorium. My name is Lily Madwhip, and I see things before they happen. Don't stare at me, S-face. That's my brother Roger. He doesn't see things before they happen. I know this because... Wait a second. No, this isn't right. Roger is dead. I'm staring at him, it's true, but I wasn't just a moment ago. I was with someone else. A man in white, with white hair, and white shoes, and a white room. What was his name? Raisin, or something. Roger's not dead. I'm back in the car with him and Mom and Dad. Razine, no. Raziel. Raziel said I could change things. This is what I need to change. I need to stop Roger from dying. I need to stop my dad from getting us T-boned by a truck. But how do I do that? Do I simply not do anything? Because warning Roger kind of is what got him killed, isn't it? I killed him. Me. But I can change that now. Rest area coming up, Dad says. Does anybody need to go? I do. But should I tell him? Roger will tell him I need to anyway. I need to pee. Me too, Roger declares. I guess he really did need to go. Just don't tell him he's gonna die. That's all. Speaking of that, I haven't heard anything from Paskar. I look down at him buckled up with me, but he's silent. Then I realize that I've got a melted Barbie sitting beside me. Nathaniel, how did you get here? He says nothing. I'm also clenching something in my hand. It's Felix's locket. Roger sees me looking at it. What's that, your Happy Meal toy? He asks. We're pulling off the highway. There's 2 lanes on the off-ramp. One for the big trucks and one for little cars. Our station wagon takes the second lane and wraps back around to go up a hill to the parking lot for the rest area. There's some sort of big rock on a pedestal with a commemorative plaque at the base with lots of names of people who are dead. Other families are going in and coming out of the glass-wrapped building. Raziel, I whisper to the locket. What did you call me, twerp? Roger frowns. Don't trust him. I hear a voice. What? Don't trust who? I whisper. Roger? Roger looks over at me. I keep my head down to avoid staring. Everybody out, Dad declares. Lily, hurry. Mom looks back at me and smiles. Her teeth are incredibly white. I don't remember her having such a flashy smile. She unbuckles her seatbelt and opens her door. We all get out. Mom holds my hand as we cross the parking lot, even though I'm not a baby. Is this really happening? Can I really save Roger from dying simply by not telling him about it? I realize that despite knowing he's going to die, I didn't actually have a sense of it this time. Have I changed things simply by going back? Have I gone back? Was all the stuff I experienced the past 3 months just the longest vision I've ever had? Is that possible? But then what about Nathaniel and Raziel's totem still being with me? I look down and don't see Duma's ghost badge pinned to my chest. So there's that. I can fix everything. The quiet voice comes again just as I get inside the swinging glass doors. You're being lied to. I don't know what it means. Roger must not be saved. Why is that? I just don't tell him he's going to die, and it won't lead to him doing something that gets my dad's attention and distracts him during a crucial moment. Easy peasy. Who is that talking? It can't be Paskar or Nathaniel. I left them out in the car. It's certainly not Duma, because it doesn't sound the least bit snobby, and I don't even know where Duma is. I look at the locket again. There's a clasp on the side that opens it, so I do. There's Joey, Felix's son. He looked happy the one time Felix showed the locket to me, but he has since changed. His expression is like the photographer was covered in spiders or something. Joey looks terrified. I sit down in a different stall from the last time I went through this. I hope that doesn't matter to the timeline. Minutes later, we're all piling back into the car. I buckle in and look at Paskar. "Why aren't you talking to me?" He doesn't respond. Something's not right. None of this feels right. But I can save Roger. I can fix things. I can make my dad smile again. Make him stop writing dirges. We'll be a whole family again. I want that so much. You must follow things as they were. Suddenly, Paskar is snatched from my arms. I'm not surprised. I'm just sad. I turn to see Roger dangling Paskar out the open car window. "Hey, assface, want to see if your dolly can fly?" I sigh. "I'm sorry, Roger. You're going to die," I tell him, and wipe away a tear. I don't scream when he glares at me and then drops Paskar out the window. I don't really care about losing the doll because I know he'll find his way back to me. It's being forced to relive this moment that hurts the most. Now I understand what Paskar meant when he said there were things worse than death. I'm back in the white room. The man in white stares at me. I wipe my eyes and clutch Paskar tightly to my chest. I can't look him in the eyes. "Why didn't you save Roger?" he asks. "All you had to do was be quiet." I sniff. My nose feels runny. I always gets that way when I cry. It's like my eyes and my nose are connected. I wonder if you have tear ducts in your nose. Maybe some people only cry through their noses. Maybe a runny nose is just someone crying who can't express themselves right. "You're not Roselle," I say, looking at the ground. "It's white too. Everything's so white, it hurts my eyes." "Huh," he says calmly. "You are a smart little girl. No, I'm not Raziel. You know who I am." The man in white puts his hands on his hips and starts walking in a circle around me. I cringe every time he goes behind me, because I'm sure he's going to stab me in the back or maybe even just touch me. I don't want to feel him touch me. There I was, minding my own business, and it's a hell of a business, let me tell you. Just doing my thing and what should happen, but someone really screws the pooch. You know what I'm talking about? Dogs having sex? No. He clenches his fists and grits his teeth. He looks the opposite of nice. His mouth is full of sharp-looking fangs now. His eyes look red. His clothes look like they're covered in ashes. I'm talking about my stupid, foolish brothers. We all have stupid brothers, don't we, Lily? I don't think Meredith has a brother. I don't say this, though, because he seems really angry. Well, mine, for some godforsaken reason, gave a little pyromaniac a box of matches, and then they gave gasoline to another one, and they said, "Go play." Do you understand how stupid my brothers are? I knew a kid once who burned down a tent with himself inside it, just to kill a spider. Yes, exactly. He laughs and reaches toward me, but I pull away. They're trying to burn one little spider and willing to risk themselves and the whole tent just to do it. Ha, yes, I see now why they chose you. My ribs start to hurt. I haven't taken any medicine for them in a couple hours. I need to go, I tell the man in white. He turns and looks me up and down. You can't go without paying the toll. What's the toll? It's a cost you pay to travel in certain areas. No, I know what a toll is, but what do you expect me to pay? I already know the answer. I know what he wants. I just want to hear him say it. He grins at me with his shark teeth. I bet Felix would pee his pants if he saw this man's teeth. No, not a man. He's Sammy the Rogue Angel. I want one of your 4 little trinkets. You can either choose or let me choose for you. I don't care. But you're already an angel. Why do you want one of these? Samael throws his head back and laughs. It kinda looks like he's trying to swallow the entire room. I bet he could do it too. He finally stops laughing and looks back down at me. I'm not gonna use it for myself. What could I possibly do with it that I can't already? No, I'm gonna give it to someone else. That's all my brothers would do too. When it's time, they pass their little toys on to another human being, they consider worthy, and it begins anew. He moves in close and fast, startling me, and I almost drop everything in my arms. He's right in my face. I can see deep into his eyes. You can't really see in people's eyes, but I can see in his, and I can't even begin to describe it. I want to give one to someone I think is worthy. I can't give him Nathaniel or Duma. They're too dangerous. I won't give him Paskar. I need to protect myself. There's only one reasonable option. So I hold out Felix's locket, cautiously, like I'm afraid he's going to bit my entire hand off with his shark mouth and leave me with just a bloody stump. Samael looks at it with curiosity, then reaches out with fingers that now look long and pointy like needles. He plucks the locket out of my hand. "This one again," he says. "Ah, Brother Raziel, how tired of our little game you must be getting." He smiles one more evil, shark-toothed smile at me. "I'll see you again, little one." Suddenly I'm standing in the parking lot of the Red Moon Hotel again. There's a large man lying on the ground screaming and clutching his leg. A fire truck is pulling up, and firefighters piling out and setting up a hose for a telephone pole that's burning to the ground. An otherwise empty ambulance is parked in front of Meredith's motel room, and some people are hurrying over to see what's going on. Felix is nowhere to be seen. AGAN. I walk over to the ambulance. Meredith is lying on the floor inside. I can see she's breathing, but she seems to be asleep. I hope she's not in a coma like my father. I take Nathaniel and put him in her arms. She instinctively hugs him and mumbles something about puppies. Yeah, puppies. A woman in a maid outfit comes over. I guess she was cleaning the rooms, or going to a costume party. She looks in the ambulance at Meredith, then looks around for the EMT. She's not going to find them. "Are you okay, sweetie?" she asks me. "What's your name?" "My name is Lily Madwhip." "My name is Simone Werner," says the orange-haired girl sitting beside me. She pulls out a binder with a picture of a cat on it. The poor kitty is hanging from a tree and is being told to just hang in there. Someone should just get the kitten down from the tree. The branch does not look safe. Paskar is sitting on my desk. "This is Paskar," I say. I make Paskar salute. He says hello, but she can't hear him. "Hello, Paskar," says Simone. Simone is a new student in Mrs. Carter, Dogbill's class. She transferred here from Ohio. Her father works as a law clerk and her mother is an accountant. I know this because Paskar told me while Mrs. Carter Dogbill was having Simone introduce herself to the rest of the class. The rest of the class only learned about Ohio and that Simone likes geography and chocolate chip bagels. Louis Brody turns around in his chair. He smiles at Simone. Louis Brody almost never smiles. It looks unnatural, like if someone drew lips on a church gargoyle. "The last girl who sat where you are was weird. She used to play with fireworks and blew up another girl's backpack, and her face was all messed up." "In what way?" asks Simone. "Yeah, Louis, in what way?" I stare at him. Louis blushes. "She just looked." He stutters something and then turns back around. Her name was Meredith, and her face wasn't messed up. She had scars from being burned in a fire, but she was one of the nicest people, I tell Simone. "Scars don't make people ugly, just unique," she says. "Oh, I like her. Not like Louis obviously likes her, but I really hope that she doesn't start hanging out with Lisa Welch and her crew of jerk girls. They'll probably try to get their claws in her because she's got a pretty face and has a cool backpack. They might reject her because of her crazy orange hair, though. It sticks out all over the place like it's trying to escape." "Are you allowed to have your doll out like that?" she asks me. "Yeah, he helps me with my anxiety. It's in my 504. That's not true. I don't even know what a 504 is. I just know that when I got Paskar out at the beginning of the year, Mrs. Carter Dogbill asked me if having him with me was in my 504 to help with anxiety. And I said, yes. So now that's what I say whenever anyone asks. At lunch, I sit by myself. Mom packed me a salad with little tomatoes, chopped celery, and cucumber slices, but she forgot the lettuce, so it's just that stuff, and a piece of bread. My thermos is empty. It's the third day in a row that my thermos has been empty. I told her after the second time that I wanted to pack my own lunch, and she said, "No, I can pack your lunch, just as good as your father does." So now I'm thirsty and eating rabbit food. I wish Meredith was here with some Oreos. After the events at the Red Moon Hotel, Meredith moved away with her foster parents. They didn't say goodbye, and I wasn't told where they were going. I tried to think of where would be a safe place for her. Maybe someplace wet like an underwater base in the middle of the ocean, or down in the Amazon rainforest. Maybe Alaska or Iceland. Actually, I've read that Iceland is very green and it's Greenland that's covered with ice. I wonder why they don't just swap names. 3 days after it all, my dad woke up from his coma. The hospital called my mom and she rushed us over to see him. When we got there, Officer Flowers' ghost was standing by his hospital bed. She didn't look quite so burned anymore, just some patchy bits on her face like something teenagers get and buy cream to clear up. We didn't say anything to each other, mostly because there was a nurse and my mom in the room, but also there was nothing to say. She reached out and plucked Duma's badge off my shirt like it was nothing. Then she shook her head, turned away, took a step, and vanished like smoke. I can't tell you what a relief that was. Duma does not shut up. Also, it's weird wearing a police badge when you're taking a bath. Dad is home now, resting most of the time. They set up a bed in the den so he wouldn't have to climb the stairs. He sees a physical therapist constantly and sometimes struggles with his words, but we're not allowed to finish his sentences for him. Pashar does it anyway, because none of them can hear him. When Dad is better, I get to take drum lessons. Jamal got his bicycle back. He thinks he saved the day. I'm not going to argue with him. His help was important. He's still determined to get my little plastic paratrooper out of the tree branches, but I told him that by now the paratrooper has become climatized to his new environment. That means he basically lives there, and it would be wrong to take him from his home. What are you doing? I'm sitting on the swings where Meredith and I always hung out. Simone sits down beside me. I look around the playground. Lisa Welch is watching us from over by the 4-square court. She got a new red backpack that her daddy bought her. I wonder if it's fire resistant. I wish Meredith was here to test it, but I think she wouldn't want to hurt anyone anymore, not even Lisa Welch. I was just thinking. Simone keeps watching me, so I blink a bit and swing to act like normal. Is it true you can see the future? She asks. Sort of. She stands up on her swing. Am I going to get hurt if I do this? Number. That girl over there with the blonde hair and the funny teeth says you're a witch. Simone points at Lisa, who's still watching us. Lisa turns away when she sees Simone point at her. Her crew of jerk girls flock around her as if they're protecting her from our evil stares. I can't help but laugh because she thinks Lisa's teeth are funny, and I know if Lisa heard her say that her head would explode. I shrug. Yeah, I know. I wouldn't listen to Lisa Welch. She's dumb as they come. Dumber, maybe. Simone sits back down on the swing. Have you ever read Greek mythology? Those are my favorite. I like the one about Medusa. She was a pretty woman who got cursed to turn people to stone. Her hair was made of snakes. Not just the heads, but the whole snakes except for the tails. I guess there's no telling where a snake's head really ends. Snakes are all neck. I think about hopping off the swing, but there's a grasshopper on the ground. I better not jump off the swing or I might crush it. Grasshoppers are cute. I used to catch them just to hold them and feel them hop around in my hands. Simone jumps off her swing and lands on the grasshopper. I think she saw it. Poor grasshopper. Have you ever read about Cassandra? She asks. She could see the future too. I watch to see if the grasshopper is going to come wiggling its way out from under her sneaker like in a cartoon, but it doesn't. As if she knows what I'm thinking, Simone swivels around on her heel to look at me, really grinding the grasshopper into the dirt. You're like Cassandra, she says. Cassandra Madrid. Madwhip. I correct her. Except nobody ever believed Cassandra. At least Jamal believes me. And Meredith believed me. I'm sure if I told him something, Felix would believe me. But the only thing I want to tell Felix is to go burn in hell. That was what I was going to say to him that day at the Red Moon Hotel. Felix Clay, you're going to burn in hell. Well, I believe you can see the future. She smiles at me. Her teeth are not funny like Lisa Welch's. Her teeth are nice. Maybe once my folks have got all our stuff unpacked at home, you can come over sometime. I've got 2 older brothers, but they're cool. Okay. I wonder if her brothers play the drums. Simone nods and then turns on her heel again and walks off toward the monkey bars. I'm pretty sure that grasshopper is toast. I think she even took it with her. She didn't seem to be messing with me, So I guess she's genuinely keen on being friends. It'd be nice to get out of the house, since my dad is always there and he gets grumpy when he can't pick stuff up or we can't understand him when he tries to talk. After school, I ride the bus home. Mom is sitting with Dad filling out forms from his bed. They make me give hugs and kisses, then tell me to go do my homework and let them be for the moment. I go up to my room and get my homework done, then sit with some watercolor paints and decide to paint a picture of Meredith burning Felix alive in an ambulance. Paskar sits with his watercolors and paints nothing, because he never actually paints. He just likes to know he can if he wants to. I ask him, "What's going to happen now? Meredith is gone, possibly to Iceland. Felix doesn't have Raziel anymore, and has disappeared to who knows where. Officer Flowers has moved on, and I assume Duma has been passed on to a new creepy person who I hope I never meet. Are we done?" "For now," he says. Darn cryptic angel. Do I have to worry about Samael? Yes, he tells me. You will always have to worry about Samael, especially now that he knows you. What will he do with Raziel? I ask. I don't know. I feel bad that I handed Raziel over to his scary brother. I never really knew or understood him, but I hope he's okay. Ever since that day, I've felt like I'm being watched. I look out the window on the bus while Greg annoys me, and Jamal smacks him in the back of the head, and I see a man in a white suit standing on the side of the road. It's Samael. He just watches the bus go by and waves his hand. His fingers are long and pointy. I think he needs to wash them. There's all sorts of grit and dirt or something on the ends. He grins at me and his mouth is full of pointy teeth. Multiple rows of them, like a shark. It looks like he could flip the top of his head back and have nothing but teeth showing. But then I blink, and he's not there. A couple times I've looked out my bedroom window, and he's been standing in the woods where all the animals died. He's got half a squirrel in his mouth, and he's chomping on it like it's bubble gum. A second later, the woods are empty. No animals wander through our backyard anymore. They probably have hazard signs or something. I don't know what animals do to warn each other that this area might be detrimental to their health. They probably pee on stuff. That's animals' answer to everything. The worst was one night after my parents were both asleep. The moon was full, and it was shining in my window, making everything blue. My bedroom closet is always shut tight because there's tons of old clothes from all the way back to when I was 5 piled up inside, and if you don't shut the door until it clicks, that stuff can fall over and spill out. Anyway, the room was dark, and for some reason I couldn't sleep. Paskar was telling me to just close my eyes and think about turtles or something nice. Sometimes he starts droning on about stuff that doesn't matter, because he knows the sound of his voice will put me to sleep. But instead I opened my eyes. When I did, I swear I saw the closet doorknob turn and click, and the door opened silently. There weren't any piles of clothes inside. It was pitch black. But I could clearly see Samael standing there in my closet, in his white suit, and with his white hair, and he just smiled and stared at me until I closed my eyes and pulled my head under the covers. I peeked out, and the door was shut like it always had been. I can't tell if I'm imagining these things, or if Samael is messing with my head. Paskar can't really say either, though he understands that I'm seeing them. He doesn't know when it comes to Samael just what exactly he's capable of. Can he drive a little girl like me insane? Maybe, is all I get for an answer. What I do know is that he's always going to be there, on the side of the road, in the woods, out back, in my closet, even if he's not really there. He knows of me. He knows me. Maybe I am just imagining him, but Paskar has said the danger is real, and from now on I should always be prepared for him. So I'll train. I don't know how I can use what I've got to my advantage, but Officer Flowers called me the knife that cuts the veil, so I guess that means something. I beat a crazy magician, survived 2 car crashes, escaped a burning house, and held 4 totems at once, and came out the other side with just a couple broken ribs and a whole lot of material for my next therapist to write a book with. I'll be ready. Mysteries are everywhere, and some may be closer than you think. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the next mystery. See you in the next story.